with Mitch, Danny, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime! Kansas City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited, thrilled, delighted to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Joshua Briscoe is going to join us on the show. He is with the Chiefs pre- and post-game on the Chiefs Radio Network. We're also going to be joined by Gabe DeArmond. Missouri plays their biggest home game in probably a decade. We're going to catch up with Gabe DeArmond to talk about that coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Let's get right to it. But before we do that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you each day by our friends over at The Other Place. If you're looking for a place to watch some Thursday night football, a little postseason baseball, looking for a place to get yourself a cold drink and some great eats, be sure to go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. All right, I would like to begin today's show with what I think the top story in Kansas City is. I think it is Chris Jones making his media appearance. Now, you guys know what happened at the end of the game. We don't have to go all the way back to Monday night, but you know that Chris Jones was out there doing the mannequin challenge on the last defensive play of the game. So I give Chris Jones a lot of credit. I give the Chiefs a lot of credit for making Chris Jones available and putting him on the podium. That is not always how it works. So let's give Chris Jones a lot of credit for being willing to stand there in front of the media and ask questions about his social media, about the final play of the game. Let's start with his decision to delete social media. Here's Chris Jones.
I actually, 2 days before the game, I posted a Drake quote. I see you in the summary of 2026, and I deleted my social media before the game. I never run from constructive criticism. I've never been that guy. I always addressed it head on. Actually, it's a lot you can take from criticism. It's like fuel. It's like gas for me personally. So, for me to delete my social media, no, I didn't delete my social media because of a play that I thought he was down and then run to. I deleted my social media days before. It just, people I guess people wanted to address me head on social media, and they seen my social media wasn't active, so they figured that I deleted it for that, but it was deleted a couple days before, and I don't mind constructive criticism, I don't mind it. It's actually fuel for me. So for me to delete that, I've never been a guy. I've been in this league 10 years, never been a guy to run from it.
You know what? I believe Chris Jones. I mean, I'm not the tweet watcher out here. I don't know when he deleted his post or when he didn't delete his post, but that makes a lot of sense to me. We all know about what Chris Jones has going on in his personal life. We don't need to dive deep into that. But if he made the decision to delete social media, he said that he talked to his agent to make sure that he had no obligations when it comes to certain brands or sponsorship deals. And if he feels right now that the best thing for him to do is just be off social media and be off the tweets for a little bit, I don't have any problem with that. I thought what he said was a pretty fine explanation. I think it checks out. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I don't have an issue with Chris Jones not being on Twitter. You being on Twitter has nothing to do with how you play football on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, or whatever night they're playing football. So if Chris Jones in his personal free time doesn't want to be on social media, hey, you got no problems with me. Now, let's get to what does matter, the final play of the game. Chris Jones was asked about it. Hey, what happened? Because the tape don't lie. The video tells no lies. It didn't look good. What did you see on the final defensive play of the game?
That's a teaching point for me, a little adversity. I can't think the play is over, you know what I mean? And it's a learning lesson, you know. Thought it was over, thought we had him down, so I kind of thought I was about to celebrate and then realized that he wasn't down. And, you know, a teaching lesson for me is don't stop, you know.
All right. I'm not here to get on the teaching lesson part because that happens. Even at our big age, things happen and you realize it. Like when people die, we always say, you know, life's too short. And you're like, well, of course, we get that message all the time. Yes, you should live every day to your fullest. So I'm not here to even get on him about the message that you know, but in the moment you forget about it. This is the part of what he had to say that just doesn't really check out to me, and to me is not taking accountability. How did you think he was down? You know, this is the NFL, right? Now, if this was college, yes, he's down. You cannot fall to the ground and then get back up and continue running in college football. So if that play had happened when you were back at Mississippi State, and trust me, that was a long time ago, then yeah, you can walk around. But at what point did you think that he was down? Because he fell on his own accord. You couldn't have think that anyone knocked him down to the ground. He then got up. He then fell again, still not touched by anybody on your team. He then got up and then broke multiple tackles. You never gave the energy that you were going after him. That's not what I saw on the tape. I didn't really see I thought he was down. Even when you realized he was up and started running, at no point did Chris Jones start moving or running. There was never a point in that play in which I feel like Chris Jones was going 100%. I'd much rather you just say, hey, I'm fatigued in that scenario. I'd much rather you just say, man, I was completely gassed from the defensive series. I probably should have called out. It was a mental lapse. I got to be better than that. But to argue that you thought he was down, how? At no point did any of us think that the play was dead. He tripped on his own offensive lineman. You're still alive. You can get up and throw it. You can get up and run it. The play can continue to operate like normal. You're the only person on the Chiefs that thought the play was over. None of your teammates thought that. They tried to make a tackle. And Trevor Lawrence broke the tackle. So no, that part I'm not rolling with. Hey, if you want to delete social media, fine. I don't care about that. If you're saying, hey, I need to be better, that's life. But to argue that you thought the play was over, how? I don't know how you felt like the play was over. And that's not what the film shows. The film shows that you quit. The film shows that you gave up on the play almost immediately on the play. It wasn't even like a oh snap where you realize, oh man, I'm wrong. And then he started like fake sprinting at the end. He is just going 25% speed the entire defensive play. That's just not an excuse that I'm buying. Not when it comes to that play. Not at that moment in the game. Not the magnitude of the game. I just don't know how you thought he was down in that scenario. Last thing we'll play here is Chris Jones. Here is he talking about what his teammates' response was to the final play of the game.
I think they understand that I thought the play was over with. And they understand I didn't quit. You know what I mean? It was just one of those instances where I thought he was down. Then I thought we was about to get him down again, and oh my God, he's not down. So they understand. They understand that, you know, it won't happen again.
Okay. I'm willing to put this story to rest if you guys are willing to put this to rest. Maybe you think I'm overreacting. Maybe you think I'm underreacting. I'm willing to put this to rest. But what I do know is 9-5, they need you. You guys are going up against maybe the best offensive line in the National Football League on Sunday night and the best 1-2 punch running attack in the National Football League. In my opinion, the best and most complete offense in the National Football League coming up on Sunday. They need you full throttle. This is a very important swing game. There is a major difference with the percentages, and I feel like, at least when it comes to the numbers, we keep saying that these numbers just don't apply to the Chiefs, and maybe they don't. But I can give you the history of this thing, and being 3-3 when Rashee Rice gets back, as opposed to being 2-4 when Rashee Rice gets back, is a major, major difference, especially in a division right now that is as competitive as the one that they are in. This is not a two-horse race. When the Chiefs have ever been challenged in the AFC West, it's usually only been one team that you got to worry about. You would be foolish to not worry about the Denver Broncos in this scenario. Now, you still play them twice. You still got a chance to take care of business, and you certainly can still win this division. You got a long way to go in this thing, and you get back your most important skill position player next Wednesday that he can help you in the final 11 games of the season. But just in terms of a one-game big swing, I don't know if you're going to have too many bigger games than what you have coming up on Sunday night against the Detroit Lions. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Do you have a dark curiosity? Heart Starts Pounding, Horrors, Hauntings, and Mysteries is a weekly podcast hosted by me, Kaylin Moore. Each week, I'll take you on a dark journey through terrifying true urban legends, bizarre true crime cases, chilling tales of backwoods horror, and more. So if you're looking to join a passionate community of the darkly curious, check out Heart Starts Pounding on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, stay curious.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Welcome back to The Drive on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Tune in on game day to hear him 3 hours before kickoff and immediately following the final whistle. Here's the new pregame and postgame host for the Chiefs Radio Network.
Kansas City wins the game!
Joshua Briscoe.
I want to answer these texts really quickly before we go to Joshua Briscoe, and this is where I feel like, at least the text line, and maybe this is a mischaracterization, and you guys can tell me this, I think you guys kind of want it both ways. Our top text right now, yes, let's put this Chris Jones conversation to rest. I'm tired of hearing about it. When the game is behind him, he spoke on it. It is what it is. Let's move on. But the text line is also really big on accountability and somebody to hold them accountable. And I see all the time on the text line that the media is soft and doesn't ask these guys certain questions. Well, the only time to ask Chris Jones the question was today. So it can't be both. We can't preach we want accountability and then let's move on. We don't need to ask him about it. That's the definition of accountability. So again, maybe this is just an isolated incident. And I'm honestly willing to move on. They lost. Like, you can't go back. You can't change it. But when you're one of the 10 highest paid defensive players in the league on defense, you got to give me a little bit more effort than that. You got to jog. You got to fake it. You got to fake it till you make it. And that is not what happened on that final play. So I'm sorry. He got to answer these questions. Let's go to the phone lines right now to be joined by the pre and post game host of the Chiefs Radio Network, Joshua Briscoe, joining us on the show. Briscoe, how you doing, my man?
I try to live my life in a way where no one can ever question my effort, so I'm doing pretty well.
All right, let's just start with this, man. We asked this question to fill in the blank. The Chiefs on Monday night lost because of blank. How would you fill that in?
Oh, self-inflicted wounds. I know Andy Reid was using that phrase yesterday in his presser too, so maybe that one's like pretty down the middle, but that's why. It wasn't offense or defense or special teams. All three phases had good moments in this game where you go like, ooh, that's something to build on, and they all had terrible back-breaking moments where you can survive a couple of those wounds, a couple of those mistakes, a couple of those penalties, a couple of those misses. You can survive a couple of those. You can't survive 13 penalties and all the other things that went wrong against a good football team. And the Jags are a good football team. They're not the Lions. That margin for error is even slimmer on Sunday night, but they're good enough where you can't make all those mistakes. They lost because of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, that's where I am, at least when it comes to it. I also feel like, and maybe this is me making excuses for the loss, I feel like if you just change the outcome of one thing, the Chiefs win the game. Either Nick Bolton or Drew Tranquill get the interception in the first half, or the Chiefs don't throw the pick six in the second half. When you lose both of those 50-50 plays, and then you couple in the mistakes that you're talking about, the 14 penalties, special teams issues, etc., when you then factor all of those things in, yeah, that's how you lose.
I think that's right, and I don't think it's rationalizing. I think it's true, not just for that game, but against the Eagles and to some extent against the Chargers too. If Travis Kelce catches a touchdown instead of essentially throwing an interception himself against the Eagles, that game goes differently. The Chargers had a few of those moments. The Chargers deserved to win that game in week 1. There was too much going on defensively the Chiefs needed to clean up, but this team is legitimately 2 plays away from being 4-1. That to me isn't even like, that's not homerism or or building positivity. I think that's just flatly true. The concerning thing is that last year they were 1 or 2 plays away from losing, 4 or 5 of those games that came down to a 1-play difference. So I don't think that's necessarily even saying that much about the Chiefs. I think that's saying a lot about the current state of the NFL, where everybody in that, the middle 20 teams in football, 1 to 20, and there's no one alone at the top. There's no undefeated team left. Everybody in the top 20-ish teams in football are really going to be 1 or 2 plays removed from the other 19 teams in that mix, which means the Chiefs aren't standing above reproach from anybody, and they're going to be in rock fights against almost everyone on the schedule the rest of the way.
The analogy that I made is the roulette wheel. I would say last year that the roulette wheel was red 11 straight times. It usually doesn't fall that way. And I think that when a lot of people kind of pointed that out in the offseason, I think people got kind of defensive about that. I do think you're seeing the pendulum swing in the other way. A point that I feel very confident in is the Chiefs aren't going 2-10 in one-score games this season. If that's the case, then they're just not making the postseason this year. I think they're making the postseason. I think they just end up like 8-4 in these one-score games, which is a worse record than last year, but a little bit of a regression to the mean, where last year almost everything that could go right in the regular season did for this team.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. So I'm just going to pick on the defensive nature of it, because I think that's the thing that also has really frustrated me. Sometimes you'll see some of these analytic accounts tweet out things like expected final scores. And so many times last year they would say wow, from a lot of metrics, the Chiefs should have lost this game by a field goal, and said they won it by a point, or they won it by a field goal. And a lot of people, I think, were taking that in a way of the Chiefs didn't deserve to win this game. And that happens so infrequently, man. There are 5 games a year where I think in the entire NFL you go, they didn't deserve to win that game. I don't think the Tennessee Titans deserve to beat the Arizona Cardinals, but that's about all I've got on that. If you are alive at the end of the game, you deserve to win it. The NFL is built that way, but it does help highlight those incredibly fine margins. And like you said, the Chiefs had that last year. For a while, for a couple years of this dynasty, the Chiefs had really good injury luck. That doesn't mean that they were undeserving of Super Bowls. They just had good injury luck for a pretty long stretch there. And then you have some Mahomes injuries at terrifying times, and then you lose Rashee Rice for basically all of last season. You lose Hollywood Brown for basically all of last season. That's your injury luck, again, air quotes here, luck kind of coming back to the mean. So I really do look at it as just kind of the state of the league, and there is something, and this is where I guess you could kind of extrapolate it last year, this year. There's something about being, air quotes, clutch that makes legends in sports, right? The difference between being a Hall of Very Good and a Hall of Fame player is, are you doing it and winning those moments on the biggest stages under the brightest lights? The Chiefs have been really, really good at that. I think that's because they have players who have been there, that are less likely to make those execution mistakes in those fine margin moments. And again, this year, Travis Kelce has a couple of... Travis Kelce hitting Xavier Worthy in week 1 might have already single-handedly changed the fate of the Eagles game in week 2. So, you have the greatest tight end of all time, in my opinion, making 2 back-breaking plays in week 1 and week 2. That's the difference between, woe is me, this team is falling out of the playoff race, and them being alone at the top of the AFC West right now. It's kind of wild.
I mean, that's the point, at least for me, and that's how I led the show on Tuesday after the game. Is the frustrating part about the start is your key leaders and most important players have been in the middle of why you lost. Whether it was in the first game, you got a 3rd and 14. You got to get a stop here with Justin Herbert to get off the field. You give up a 17-yard run, and Chris Jones is at the middle of it. You mentioned earlier Travis Kelce in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. In this game, Harrison Butker kicks the ball out of bounds. Patrick Mahomes throws a pick 6. Sometimes I feel like, and we do this in baseball, basketball, football, we love to blame Daniel Sorensen. No, the reason they lost this game is Patrick Mahomes. The reason they lost this game is Travis Kelce. The reason they lost this game is Harrison Butker. It's been their star, very important players in the center of all of these losses.
And on some level, you can do this for the coaching staff, too, where, the reason that this defense has been so good in this last, roughly a decade, not quite, obviously, this dynastic run, Steve Spagnuolo and Chris Jones are the 2 biggest reasons this defense has been as good as it's been throughout this entire run. Well, you have a couple of plays from Chris Jones that jump off the screen where he's not good enough or not involved enough or whatever, and you have a couple of personnel decisions. You mentioned Daniel Sorensen. This week, Shamari Connor is getting the Daniel Sorensen treatment that way, and you go, man, Steve Spagnuolo, like, what a blind spot there seems to be here for who I believe, again, should be the first defensive coordinator inducted into Canton. Like, I think that he has more than earned that, and you can also still look back and go like, man, you couldn't find a way to get Noel Williams a few more snaps so you could put McDuffie in the slot in a situation like Brian Thomas Jr. ends up drawing that DPI against Connor near the end of the game. That's not an adjustment you can make. So we really do bring a microscope out to the guys who you expect the most from. I think that's sports in a lot of ways, but also for me, it's a reason that I get so frustrated with the Chris Jones conversation, because when he's the only member of the defense that you can talk about, I think that's more telling than what he looks like when he thought that Trevor Lawrence was down or he was wanting to bat down the pass or whatever, and ask him. Absolutely, he should be asked about it. He should answer those questions. I'm cool with all of that. But I also think that if in like week 9 we're still talking about Chris Jones against Justin Herbert and standing opposite Trevor Lawrence, we're probably spending too much time on the most important player on the defense rather than the 9 or 10 other guys out there who aren't playing at a high enough level on a given rep. So like Trent McDuffie also gets that kind of extra analysis for me because I view him as a blue chip player. So again, heavy is the head. That's happening to Jones and Butker and Mahomes and Kelsey, again, in their respective units on the field. It also happens for Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo because you expect the best from them, and they have just lost by the thinnest of margins too many times this year.
Right now, we're talking to Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network. Briscoe, I don't know how often you get a chance to listen to the show, but every year we give one player in either the cornerback room or the safety room, we give them a very special award.
Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert.
We give them the barbecue chicken alert. We have given that out to Shamari Connor this year. Do you agree?
I mean, there's no argument against that, right? Like, the rest of the secondary, I think, has been pretty good, and a little bit of me is, like, kind of frustrated for Shamari Connor because this was the role that he was forced into last year, and he wasn't good in that role in this way last year either. So I'm a little bit floored. Obviously, Christian Fulton being hurt has taken him out of the mix in terms of just being the other outside cornerback here, but, I mean, he's just, to your point there, Connor's just gotten cooked on such an enormous number of snaps. Here's the other thing. Do you know how many snaps Shamari Connor has not been on the field for this defense this year?
I actually do know the answer. It's 1.
It's 1. So, like, Shamari Connor didn't bust down the door to Steve Spagnuolo's office in training camp and said, if you take me off the field, I'm retiring. Like, that is, again, one of those things, like, from a coaching perspective, I think Shamari Connor is a useful player. He's a physical tackler. He flies at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I understand why Steve Spagnuolo wants him on the field. I just don't think he should be on the field as your man slot cover corner. That's just not a role that he's succeeded in. He didn't succeed in it last year. And you have, I think, the best slot cover player in football in Trent McDuffie stuck on the outside. So again, that maybe you need Christian Fulton to get healthy. I thought Noah Williams earned certainly more playing time than he got against the Jags. And ultimately, yeah, it's left Connor in what to this point has been an unwinnable position for him.
Right now, we're talking to Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network. Xavier Worthy is not practicing today. Are you worried at all about him for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be, right? I'm hoping that we're going to get a little bit of clarification on that today or tomorrow and try to get a little bit better of an idea of it. Just, hey, is it swelling again? You want to keep the swelling down, then he'll be good to go for the game like he was against the Jags. But even then, just like adding this ankle thing into the mix when he's already playing through a serious shoulder injury, that's definitely something you have to be like alarmed about. And obviously they're a week away from getting Rashee Rice back into the mix. It'll make things a little bit easier. But no, I mean, if you were to tell me that for whatever reason Xavier Worthy either can't play or can't look like himself against the Lions, it would take a lot of air out of my sails for the offense. That had a nice day against the Jags for the most part.
Let's talk about the offense a little bit more. I don't think people are going to talk about this drive at the end of the season, and I completely get it. But the most encouraging offensive drive that the Chiefs have had this season was on Monday night, when they had backup against the wall, they needed to go down the field, they needed to score a touchdown. That looked like the Chiefs offense that I saw in 2018. That looked like the Chiefs offense that I saw in 2021, 2022. That was a very, very precise drive where they did a little bit of everything. Mahomes gets away from a sack on third down. He makes that big throw to Hollywood Brown on the right sideline. Again, I understand they ended up losing the game, but Mahomes did exactly what you want your quarterback to do. Give me time, score, situation. We got to go score a touchdown, and he took them right down the field to score a touchdown, and that's where the defense and special teams let them down.
You're totally right. That's a totally fair drive to pick. I thought you were going to do it about the 5-play, 97-yard drive that to me was also giving me that kind of flashback. You talk about like turning back the clock and Kareem Hunt has a 33-yard run to kick a drive off. You go, whoa, what year is it? So I don't even disagree in terms of like which drive you're picking at, situation and having that kind of like surgical Mahomes, again, like back against the wall and the clock ticking down. You need these points. I think that's a good time to highlight it. What's funny to me is that there were at least a couple of drives that you could look that way and say, hey, this is what you've been waiting to see in terms of the next gear of this offense. And so like back to the one that you're thinking of, being able to just have Mahomes drop back, not live an untouched life in the pocket there. Like, he's still moving around. He's still having to make defenders miss and navigate all of that. But gaining a little bit of trust, I think, in that offensive line, having some trust in his weapons, and then ultimately, to your point, yes, absolutely, having the special teams and defense let you down after that. That will wash away a lot of the good things that happened in this game. But I do think there's a lot of cause for optimism about the offense. Again, I really want to see Xavier Worthy still be in this offense on Sunday night against the Lions. I really want to see what it looks like with Rashee Rice back, because even around here, as we've been talking about him off the field, you know, all 5 of these weeks, just counting the days until he returns, I still wonder if we're underestimating how much of an impact he's going to have. Like, he's going to be a national story when he's back in this offense. At least that's my expectation. And for them to hit some of those throwback, higher flying offensive grooves from years past, to hit some of those same feelings before Rice even comes back, I really do think is a great sign that they just are going to have such a thin margin for error, because when you lose these games early on, that's what happens.
I want to tell you a quick story really quickly. This was maybe a few years ago. This young lady came over on a football Sunday, and we were watching Red Zone, and Scott Hansen threw to a highlight, and she said, it's either going to be really good or really bad. And I kind of chuckled, and I said, there's really no other option for a highlight. I think of that story because of Jack Cochran. If I ask you a question about Jack Cochran, it either is because he won Special Teams Player of the Week and he forced like 3 fumbles in the game, or what happened on Monday night.
Yep, and that's, and like I heard Tobe talking about that this morning. Like, he was going up against their best guy, and he's one of our best guys, and that's the life of a special teamer, man. I mean, you can expand that out to, like, we haven't heard Joshua Williams' name very often this year. When you do, it's usually on special teams, and usually a referee is saying number 2. It is a very, very difficult life to be a, like, special teams 4-phase kind of guy who the coach loves but can't get your defensive snaps. And so you're living in that. I'm looking at the snap count from the Jags game right now. Right at the top, Williams, Cochran, Bassa, McDonald. If you're one of those 4 guys and your name comes up because you're making your money on special teams, it is either going to be a highlight or a low light. And yeah, that is very, very fair. And unfortunately, and Tobe made the point also, like, we haven't been a super penalized unit. I think Williams, had 2 in one game at one point. But that is not a time you want to hear your name called. I'd rather have my anonymous special teams ace than the one that gets called for a couple of flags in prime time.
Let me give you another analogy here. Now, this has not happened to me. Maybe it happened to you. Maybe it happened to Rob. I'm sure this happened to someone listening. Out of college, you ended up with somebody else. Maybe you got married. Maybe you guys ended up in a relationship, and for whatever reason, you and that person split up. But there was always this girl on high school that you kind of had an eye for, you know? And eventually you guys got together, and now you're happily married with kids, and you think, man, I just should have got married to that person from the very, very beginning. I feel like that happened with the Chiefs with Sky Moore and Tyquan Thornton. They took Sky Moore 3 picks after Tyquan Thornton. I feel like in the end, everything just worked out how it was supposed to work out.
Wow, that's beautiful, Carrington. I hadn't thought about that. They're just sort of these star-crossed lovers that Brett Veach was always enamored with Tyquan Thornton, but that speed got him drafted a little more highly than they were expecting him to go back to the Patriots. And so you bide your time, you try to work it out, it doesn't work out. Now the person you spend a lot of quality time with is returning punts in San Francisco, and you're finally hitting your stride with your new love. Not only am I okay with that, I would also go ahead and spin that analogy into my full-on endorsement. Not sarcastic at all. My full-on endorsement for a Tyquan Thornton contract extension sooner rather than later. Not for a lot of money, just like, hey Tyquan, you want to guarantee that you're here with Patrick Mahomes for a couple more years? Put some guaranteed money on the docket, and we'll know that you're going to be in the mix. I'd give Tyquan a ring right now.
We're talking to Joshua Briscoe right now with the Chiefs Radio Network here for a couple of more minutes. I think you can argue that the Lions are the best team in the National Football League. If I had a power ranking, I would put Buffalo at 1. I'd put Detroit at 2. But if you put the Lions at 1, I certainly wouldn't fault you for that being the case. What do you think the Chiefs need to do on Sunday to win?
It's starting to get to this point, and I don't think this is entirely fair, but it's almost to the point where you're like, well, maybe I just need to not think about what the other team is even doing for the Chiefs right now, because you know the degree of difficulty, and you know that these are good football teams, and you know the margin for error changes depending on how talented, how well coached, how well executed the other team is. But honestly, man, and this sounds like a cop-out. It sounds like coach speak, but I really, truly mean it. If you told me the Chiefs just went out there and played a clean game of what we've seen to be 2025 Chiefs football minus 90% of the self-inflicted wounds, I'd tell you this game is legitimately a coin flip. I don't know where the line has settled now. I was surprised to see where it started and then bubbled in the Chiefs' favor out of the gate. That was kind of interesting to me. Maybe the Worthy news ends up having an impact on that. I don't know. But yeah, man, they have talented guys in both trenches. They have a remarkable group of weapons on offense around a quarterback that doesn't seem to make any mistakes and can just deliver on time to everybody all day. They have an absolute lunatic for a head coach who apparently is so good at his job that it doesn't matter when they lose their coordinators. They just keep the train moving. It is a remarkably, remarkably impressive franchise at this point, which I don't say lightly, because my lasting memory of the Detroit Lions for a long time was 0-16 and Dan Orlovsky running out of the back of the end zone. That's who I grew up knowing the Lions to be. And now I look at them as, again, one of the most pristine examples in the NFL of how not only to sustain success, but to survive the brain drain they've had, I think is really, really impressive. I'm not going to tell you they just need to make sure Aiden Hutchinson doesn't bother Patrick Mahomes. Easier said than done. He will. But if Patrick Mahomes plays his best football, he'll survive that. I guess the one thing that I'll add in terms of a slight bet in the Chiefs' favor here, they've been really good against Saquon Barkley, against Derrick Henry, against Travis Etienne. I think they're probably going to be all right against Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Not a shutout performance. And I think having two of those guys and a team that's willing to run it and just let the backs carry the load instead of having the quarterback do so much of it, as all of the team, really, the Chargers even in week 1, obviously, Herbert ends up killing him with his legs. You're not going to get that kind of scrambling performance from Jared Goff, I assume, but I think they're going to do an okay job of handling Gibbs and Montgomery, and then you have the pass catchers to deal with, and you figure out who is not being lined up across from by Trent McDuffie, and I think that's going to be Jared Goff's first plan there.
I want to leave you with this last thing, Briscoe, before we're done. One day you're going to have little ones, I don't know. But you're going to be able to tell them that you got a chance to see some really incredible things in sports. You're old enough to remember Michael Jordan. You also saw all of LeBron James' career. You saw the Cubs win the World Series. You've seen the Red Sox win the World Series. You've seen the Royals win the World Series. We got to see the Lions be good at football. I never thought that would happen.
It's perhaps the most unlikely of them all. Again, the Red Sox and Cubs thing is such a good point. If we see the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl, it's going to, frankly, now we're in a scary point because we're in a place now where the Lions could win a Super Bowl and 2 years down the line, everyone could just claim it was all AI. There's no way that happened. The Lions, no. Grandpa, you got by technology again. You looked that up and it said the Lions won the Super Bowl in 2025. That didn't happen. And I don't know, by that point, maybe my memory will be gone. Maybe they're right.
That is our guy, Joshua Briscoe, joining us on the show today. Briscoe, great stuff, my man.
Appreciate it, fellas. Enjoy the weekend.
Absolutely. That is Joshua Briscoe joining us on the show. Be sure to catch him. He is the Chiefs Radio Network pre- and post-game host. Rob, let me ask you this question. I know we're up against it. Could you argue that Dan Campbell is the most popular person in the NFL? There is not a single person that dislikes Dan Campbell. Like, we all know people that don't like Patrick Mahomes, right? For various reasons. He beats your team, whatever it is. You think he gets calls by the refs, whatever it is. There are people that don't like Travis Kelce, maybe because of who his fiance is. Like, I don't know. But do you know somebody that doesn't like Dan Campbell? And he kind of seems like one of those people. There are a group of people in life that if you don't like them, that's a you problem. Something's wrong with you. Rob, you don't know anybody that doesn't like Binkley. Everybody loves Binkley. How could you dislike Binkley? Doesn't bother anybody. Just a fun guy to be around. You don't know anybody that dislikes Dan Campbell. How could you root against Dan Campbell? He seems like a very fun football guy.
Which is hilarious now, and I agree with you. It's hilarious, the guy that literally me, you, every media member, every fan, every NFL football follower got their jokes off about his opening press conference and knee gnawing and, all that weird stuff he was saying. He now has gone from, he said a lot of weird stuff in the press conference to maybe the most popular figure in the NFL. It is the epitome of a 180 flip for Dan Campbell.
Coming up on the other side, I want to talk about the New York Yankees going home for the postseason. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I don't sell lab-grown diamonds because they represent everything that can be bad about the jewelry industry and are the opposite of why my family is in it. This is Gene at House of Diamonds. I opened my diamond and custom jewelry shop to build relationships of trust with my customers. Prior to opening House of Diamonds, I worked at other jewelry stores and saw how that trust can be betrayed. And now I'm seeing it again with those who are selling lab-grown diamonds for thousands, nearly all of it profit, knowing that they are worth nothing the second they leave the store. So if you ever want to sell that lab diamond or want to trade up, you have literally nothing to sell or trade. That will never happen at House of Diamonds. We guarantee a trade-in value of 100% of the price you paid us for your hand-selected natural diamond. Don't become a lab-grown diamond victim. Learn more at mybigrock.com. And then come see me at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That's our philosophy at GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. Fat ones, skinny ones, curvy ones, fast ones, slow ones, round ones, and square ones. Yes, square body Chevys. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now. Put yours in and get a quote. We'd love to buy it. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Helzberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Helzberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at helzberg.com.
This afternoon, expect rain showers followed by partly sunny skies with a high of 74.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we might have our final New Orleans prison escape update. It gave us great content over the summer. Everybody has been captured, but we have one final story to pass to you guys related to the capture of the last escapee from the New Orleans prison. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I have two things I want to talk about before we do that. The first thing is this. Now, I don't have this person in my life. Maybe you have this person. Maybe you knew this person. But did you know somebody who had rich parents? And even though they hadn't done anything themselves, they carried themselves with a certain level of braggadocious about them. And you're thinking to yourself, like, you haven't really done anything. But this person felt like they were entitled to certain things because of who their parents were, or how much money they came from, or the family they were attached to, whatever it is. That's how the Yankees act. I'm on social media and I'm seeing all these Yankees fans. It's unacceptable. We haven't won a World Series in 19 years. Join the club. That's most other franchises. Just because you guys spend more money than everybody else, that doesn't mean that automatically you get to cut the line and win championships. No. And then in the same vein of feeling entitled, like they just automatically should win the World Series every year, now I'm hearing them complain about the roster. I'm watching Derek Jeter, one of the most decorated baseball players of all time. Alex Rodriguez, one of the greatest baseball players at all time. They're telling me how the roster is just not good enough. I mean, how can you expect to win a championship with this roster? It's just not good enough. I don't want to hear it. Be better. You're obviously not. I'm tired of this. You won 94 games back-to-back seasons. You guys went to the World Series last year. You played another big dog on the block, and they smacked you around in 5 games. Now a team in your division from Toronto, they did the exact same thing, smacked you around in your own house. There's no fan base in professional sports. There's certainly these fan bases in college sports. I mean, there's a lot of them. We call them blue bloods. They love to thumb their nose at the rest of us. Well, the Yankees, that's how they act in a professional sports setting. Because they're the Yankees, because they have so much tradition, because they've won so many championships in the past, they automatically think that every year they should win the championship. It don't work that way. Around here, you got to put your own work in, and y'all boys ain't putting the work in. I mean, you guys are good enough in the regular season. Why is it not translated? It's not like you guys aren't good. I mean, 94 wins. Back in 2022, they won 99 games. They won 100 games back-to-back in 18 and 19. You didn't get to the World Series in any of those years. Be better. That's my message to the New York Yankees. I just want you to be better. That's thought number one that I have. The second thought that I have is this. Do you guys remember when I was really obsessed with the show Catfish? This was a great era in my life. I loved this show. Now, for those of you that don't know what the premise of Catfish was, it was a person who was in an online relationship, and this person in the online relationship, it could be the person they thought it was. It could be a 25-year-old beautiful woman from Austin, Texas that, you know, for whatever reason, you guys just couldn't link up, and now you get the chance to meet him. Or it could be a 51-year-old man from Cleveland, Ohio. You had absolutely no clue. So you would call in Neve, and Neve would do it, and it was always the big reveal. It was like Bar Rescue, but in reverse. I loved it. This is happening right now in college football. You want to go down the list with the catfish, the people that have been fooling us? Let's go down the list. Arch Manning, catfish. Now, I'm not telling you that Arch Manning won't ever be good. He certainly can be good. In 2026, in 2027, maybe that quarterback turns out to be good. But come on now. We all watch college football. We all watch the NFL. You know what it's supposed to look like and feel like. You know that kid ain't it. I remember one time I went to a wine tasting, and this man looked at me, and he said, everybody's a wine connoisseur. And I looked at him, I was confused. I'm like, I'm not a wine connoisseur. And he said, well, you know what you like, right? And you know if it tastes good or not. That makes you a wine connoisseur. We all watch football. You know what good quarterbacks look like. Does that kid look like a good quarterback right now? Again, he might be in the future. It's very possible. I've seen every meaningful snap of Arch Manning's career. There ain't nothing special about him right now other than who his uncles are and who his grandpa is. That's the only thing that's special about that kid. He ain't the best quarterback in Texas. He ain't. No. You fooled us. You hoodwinked us. I see how you hoodwinked us, though. You know, you let it bubble and simmer. It was very mysterious for a couple of years. He's Archie's grandson. He's Peyton and Eli's nephew. He's football royalty. I mean, it's easy to see how they bamboozled us. I get how they hoodwinked us. But the beautiful thing about sports is eventually you got to go play. And we got a chance to see Arch. And I can tell you, I tried your restaurant. The food ain't good. I'm sorry. I don't care how good your marketing is. The food ain't good. I'm not coming back to this restaurant. That's catfish number one. Catfish number two, Penn State football. Now, this time I didn't fall for it. Last year, I fell for it. I really did. I thought that Nigerian prince was going to give me endless riches. I really thought so. I'm here to tell you, no. No. Let me be the first to tell you, James Franklin, he's going to be coaching at Arkansas next year. He's going to do the John Calipari. They're about to lose 4 games this year. There's nothing special about that team. There was something special about that team last year. There's nothing special about that team this year. Catfish. They're a catfish. There's no excuse to lose to UCLA. None. It's one thing to be in a tussle against UCLA where maybe they give you a little bit of a scare in the first half of the game and then you get things right and then the second half you win the game and you're like, oh, all right, conference play on the road. We learned our lesson. They dominated you. They were up 27-7 at halftime. They beat you flat out. The Nico, the kid I can't pronounce his last name, cooked you. Barbecue chicken alert. I mean, sliced and diced slap chop your defense. You're catfish. I don't know what else to tell you. You fooled me. Yeah, that's what you did. You fooled me. You were a catfish is what you were. Bill Belichick, I hope you think that you're not getting out of this segment. You also a catfish. Maybe that's my fault for falling into it. You know, like why would this pretty girl just message me out of the blue for no reason? We've never even talked. Now she wants to be in a relationship. She wants something. Bill, I mean, come on now. You ran an elite level, high-end scam against you, North Carolina. Please give those people their money back. I've told you guys, Bill just needs to go work for the Ringer and needs to make TikToks with this girl. Just be an online influencer. That's all you need to do. Elite level catfishing is going on right now in college football. Arch is a catfish. Penn State is a catfish. Florida State is a catfish. They fooled us. They had us thinking after that first game and how they dominated Alabama, they had us thinking they were going to be something special. Nope, they're not special.
Does Clemson count?
Catfish.
Because Cade Klubnik would definitely be in this category too.
Catfish. That's what I'm telling you. Captain D's, Long John Silver's, catfish. It's a bunch of them out there. Just stay woke is what I'm here to telling you. I'm just telling you to keep your eyes open because there's a lot of catfish here walking around. I'm telling you, you think it's a pretty, 27-year-old woman, and I'm telling you, you meet up with them, and it's a 51-year-old man from Springfield, Missouri. I'm just telling you to stay woke. That's all I want you to do. Coming up on the other side, we have our final update of the situation in New Orleans. You guys remember, back in May, there was 10 people that escaped a prison. They caught the last prisoner yesterday. I'm going to tell you how they caught him. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Discover the latest HVAC, plumbing, and trade solutions with companies like Honeywell and April Air and 20-plus other vendors at the Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 at J. Rieger & Co. Distillery. Plus, enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prizes, and networking.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. My Lowe's Rewards members get up to 40% off hundreds of items, plus free standard shipping. Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here, and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with zero down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just $0 down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Listen to the Chiefs and Lions on Sunday night with pregame starting at 4, kickoff at 7:20 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
This is a big day in the show. This is why. We have been tracking the New Orleans prison escape from the beginning, from day one. And I told you guys that every time I heard an update, I was going to share it with you guys. Now, you remember back in May, 10 prisoners escaped a New Orleans jail. Now, they found some of them very, very quick. Like some of them, they didn't even make it 12 hours. A couple of them got arrested in the French Quarter. A couple other people got arrested a couple days later. One person got to Baton Rouge, which is like an hour outside of New Orleans. But there was one person that had evaded police for quite some time. Now, his name is Derrick Grove. Now, Derrick Grove, no laughing matter. He's a very dangerous individual. But they found him. And we updated you guys that he was found. All of them are captured. They're back in custody. They putting that man under the jail. But we didn't know the how they had found him, because he had evaded police for quite some time. And in order for a break in the case, you need somebody to step forward. There has to be some information that's given. You and I speculated, Rob, that we thought it was a relative. You found out where he was. You realized that the reward money was $100K. You called the phone and said, Derrick down there in that house. That's what we thought originally. We didn't know. The text line was speculating that maybe the weed man dimed him out. You owed somebody some money. You couldn't pay the money. They told the authorities where you were located. Well, now we have the official report on what happened. So according to WSB-TV, a local Atlanta station, Derrick Grove's girlfriend called the police. This is the story. WSB is reporting that a neighbor had seen him, but you know how some people are, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. He was living there with his girl. Well, the neighbor heard a little bit of fighting between Derrick and the girlfriend in the early morning hours. And the police have now said that Derrick Grove's girlfriend, for whatever reason, got fed up, the argument. I don't know what happened in the argument, but the girlfriend is the one that called the tip line And the girlfriend is the one that told the police where they were. She left the house. Next thing you know, SWAT team comes in, takes over the house, and then they find him and arrest him. So we don't got to speculate anymore. That's the official news report from WSB-TV. Rob, it wasn't the weed man. It wasn't Uncle Ray Ray who found out where you were that dimed you. He got into an argument with this girl. His girl had had enough, called the police, and put Derek back behind bars. Now, I only really have one question about this, and we can move on. Now, I don't know this woman. I don't know him. But I do know this. If you are evading the police, if you are on the run, on the lam, you know who I'm trying to be extra nice to? My girl who's looking out for me. I'm going to look out for the girl that looked out for me. We all know women are incredibly loyal people. But if you piss her off, she will instantly turn into your worst enemy. I don't know what was said in this argument. I don't know what they were arguing about. They could have been arguing about how he ate the last of whatever food she was having. She brought him some food. He ate her food and his food. I don't know what they were arguing about, but I know if there's somebody I don't want to piss off, it's the woman that I'm living with that can instantly turn on me. You ain't got a job. You're not paying rent. You're not contributing in any way. It needs to be a yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You need to be cleaning up. That house needs to be spick and span. When she's going to work and she comes back home, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that there's no problems for her. You get in one argument. Next thing you know, whoop, whoop. Now look at you. You back in jail. You was getting good home-cooked meals. And now look at you. No conjugal visits for you. You're done. You're cooked. Now we can now officially put this story to rest. Everybody's back in jail, and now we know the last man, he had been living with this girl. They got in an argument. She called the police, and now he back in jail.
I think this extends to, now, I'm not trying to give advice to people on the run, but whoever you're living with, man, woman, family, best friend, whomever, if you are on the run from the police and you are hiding in someone's house, let me tell you what you can't do. Get in a problem with the people you're living with. You have to be the best roommate, the best son, the best daughter, the best boyfriend, the best girlfriend, the best fiance, whatever your relationship with the people you are hiding with, you have to be the best version of that. You cannot get in an argument because that person has the trump card forever. I will put you back in jail. It's that simple. And it sounds like they got in an argument. The guy forgot, oh, she has the trump card. She called the police, and guess what? He's in jail. But the text line asks a fascinating question. Doesn't she get in trouble for aiding and abetting? Because even though she turned him in, it wasn't like he was there for 12 hours. He was there for a minute. That sounds like aiding and abetting to me. She may have shot herself in the foot by telling police, hey, I'm mad at this guy. He's living with me.
Rob, do you know a woman? You were telling me you don't know a woman that would potentially hurt herself to hurt you even more? That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, you can get a lawyer to probably get you out of that situation. Hey, I had a change of heart. He was threatening me. You can easily get out of this if you're hurt. Now, you're not getting the reward money. That's gone. You can't have him staying there, and now you think you're getting the reward money. Y'all was just watching the Falcons game on Sunday. So there's no chance you getting the reward money. But yeah, she probably is going to be charged with something. But she can get herself out of this. That's not the story. You know what? Whatever she gets charged with, she has a date to get out. You ain't never getting out. You're in there forever. You got a permanent residency. She has a temporary one. She probably going to get a little probation, a little fine, a little something. She's getting out of jail. You're not. You're in there for life. Man, all you had to do was just leave the toilet seat down, bro. That's all you had to do, man. All you had to do. She told you to get off that game. She told you bedtime was 11. You tried to push it. Now look at you. So that's the end of the story. That's the conclusion. That's the conclusion of the story, man. No more updates when it comes to that story. Derek Groves, you're in jail.
I thought we're gonna have an update of her prison sentence.
Nah, that's the end. We're fine.
What if she goes to prison, learn from him, and escapes? Like it's the show Prison Break.
We'll have a new story. We'll have a new story.
Maybe she has a map of the jail tatted on her back, the same way What's-His-Face did from that Fox show.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have. So, no, that's the end of our updates of the New Orleans situation. All 10 prisoners back in jail. Girlfriend called it in. You guys did call it. I'll give you that. You guys were very adamant that this was a scorned lover that knew where he was. They got into it and called the police. So I had to at least update you. I had to tell you that you were right. Let's make fun of the Yankees one more time.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
I'm telling you that I don't know if Toronto is going to win the World Series or not, but the highlight of the baseball season is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. saying the Yankees lose with David Ortiz while Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez sit right there. You can never do anything cooler in baseball than that. You might hit 400. You might break Barry Bonds' record. You might, I don't know what the record for stolen bases. Maybe you have the longest hitting streak. You break Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak. There's nothing in baseball you can do that's cooler than saying the Yankees lose while in a conversation with Derek Jeter. And no, they lost. And you were a big reason of why they lost. That is the highlight of everything that you can accomplish in sports. Coming up on the other side, I saw a very interesting statistic about Bill Belichick I want to share with you guys, and we'll also get to the storylines for Week 6 in the National Football League. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Well, summer is winding down, and maybe you noticed something. You're a little more tired than usual. Your workouts, they're just not giving you that same result. You're not sleeping well. You're foggy. Your sex drive basically gone at this point. Well, here's the truth. It might not just be stress or getting older. It could be low testosterone. And if it is, there's a positive. Heartland Men's Health can help you. They have helped hundreds of men right here in the Kansas City area feel like themselves again with increased energy, better thinking, better sleep, stronger workouts, and your sex drive. It's back. Getting tested is fast and easy. Take the 2-minute low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com and schedule a $99 consult, which includes lab work, a full medical review, and a plan that works for you. And you start treatment that day. And if it doesn't work, then your visit is on the house. Don't wait another year. Don't wait another month. Don't wait another day. Let's get back to you feeling like you. Pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. Heartland Men's Health. Real results, real men, real fast.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right. With a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Sunday football? It's all happening at Brew Brothers inside Harris Casino, Kansas City. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll catch every game, every Sunday. So no matter who you root for, your team is always on. Add in ice-cold drinks, mouth-watering food, and a crowd that loves football just like you. And you've got the perfect game day atmosphere. Every snap, every score, every Sunday. Brew Brothers is football headquarters. Be there this weekend at Harris's Kansas City. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
consumer.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Kansas City Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase, Thursday, October 23rd at J. Rieger and Company Distillery. You've got a couple of wrecks that are going to slow you down on 70. Kansas side of things at 70 eastbound. At 670 heading into downtown, the right lane is blocked. Blue Springs at 70 eastbound past 7 Highway, right lane blocked there. Discover the latest HVAC, plumbing, and trade solution companies with Honeywell and April Airline, 20-plus other vendors at the KC Wind Supply Group Vendor Showcase. It's Thursday, October 23rd, 3 to 6 p.m., J. Rieger and Company Distillery. You'll enjoy complimentary food, drinks, tours, prices, and networking. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, if you missed Chris Jones' media availability, we'll play that for you coming up in about 5-10 minutes or so. We'll also get to the storylines ahead of Week 6 in the National Football League. This is not about Jordan Hudson. I know that we like to have a little bit of fun, and the story's fun. But they're two consenting adults. They don't bother me. I mean, that's not going to stop me from getting these jokes off, but Jordan Hudson does not bother me. Bill Belichick, their relationship, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. You guys know I have a rule. I don't use my free time worrying about what you do in your free time. You're not hurting anybody. Hey, I have all the fun that you would like. Don't bother me. But I will say, Bill, how you moving got us looking at you a little funny. I saw this stat from Albert Breer, who does fantastic work with NFL Network. He tweeted this out. I've long felt that Bill Belichick was the GOAT, but now, excuse me, Andy Reid without Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid without Pat is 184, 123, and 1. 13 playoff appearances, 8 division titles, 1 Super Bowl appearance, 11 playoff wins, and 8 top 10 offenses. Andy was a really, really good coach. And then he got a really, really good quarterback, and they have decided to make magic. It was like, I imagine, have you guys seen the movie Straight Outta Compton? And you remember the kind of music Dr. Dre was making? And then he gets introduced to Snoop Dogg, and it's like, oh, wait, they're about to make nothing but a G-thing together. Like the perfect combination of people. That's what happened. You had the greatest producer and one of the most talented rappers together, and they made a classic album together. That's what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are. Now, it also goes on in this tweet to then read Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. Let me tell you, folks, it ain't good. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. He is 83-101. He has made the playoffs 2 times. He has 0 division titles. He's never made the Super Bowl. He has just 1 playoff win without Tom Brady and has 0 top 10 offenses. Now, I don't know if that's a fair comparison. Belichick, a defensive guy, Reid, an offensive guy. The point still stands. I think we've known that with Belichick about the success minus Brady. So I'm not here breaking any news. You're not hearing something you haven't heard before. But the way that it ended in New England, where he got fired and they don't want to talk to him anymore. They don't want him back. There is a feud in the middle of it. That's not how things ended for Andy in Philadelphia. It was just time. Hey, you've been here long enough. We think there's a higher ceiling. You remember Andy was in the middle of some very serious personal stuff. Hey, it was just in everybody's best interest for Andy to just start over, start fresh, start anew. That's what it was. That's not what happened with Bill. Bill had all the power in the world in New England, and he was bad. And he made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. And one day, Robert Kraft woke up and said, we don't want you here anymore. We don't want you around. In fact, we probably should have kept Tom and not kept you. And I think that made Bill hot. Bill's so mad at the Patriots, he won't even let North Carolina post Drake May highlights because of what school he got, what team drafted him. That's a staple of college teams. If you got a player and then they go off to the pros and they play well, they always tweet a good job, thank you. Tomorrow, if Andrew Wiggins scored 70 points, the Jayhawk, of course they're tweeting it out. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what your social media team is there for. Bill said, no, we don't even want your scouts up here. Can you imagine that? I know you guys are coming to look at our players as potential NFL prospects. You're not welcome here, is what Bill is saying. So you pair it with that, how bad things ended with the New England Patriots. And I don't know how anybody sees this thing ending well with the North Carolina Tar Heels. I don't know how you see this thing turning around. It's been noise from the beginning. It's never been quiet. Never. We've never talked about their football team. It's always been about Bill. It was about Bill all summer and his girlfriend shutting down interviews and then on emails and all of those things. And then after their first drive of the season, they've been getting their teeth kicked in weekly. Right now, their over-under in Vegas is 3.5. 3.5? They're terrible. They're bad. It's been bad. And you know, when people see that a ship is sinking, boy, they can't wait to jump off. And people are jumping off of that thing in droves. You're getting anonymous parents willing to comment on it. Bill Belichick is going to be bought out at the end of the season. It's $1 million. It's over. It's done. They're going to play out the string. They're not going to embarrass him. They're not going to fire him. Anytime you got to release a statement in the middle of the season and your AD gives a one sentence, we believe in our head coach, he's done. He's cooked. They're buying. They're working on a buyout now at this point. Bill, you're looking real funny in the light. I'm sorry. You're looking funny in the light. That it makes you really question everything. There's some sports radio topic you can always take out your bag. For about a decade there, one you could always take out of the bag was the trusty 9-iron. It was, well, who's responsible for the Patriots dynasty, Bill or Tom? We got our answer. It wasn't you, Bill. It was not you at all. Tom, he's done great things without you. You ain't really done a whole lot great. Not at all. 83, 101, 2 playoff berths, never won his division, never been to the Super Bowl, 1 playoff win, and just he's about to get run out of town at North Carolina. You're supposed to show up in North Carolina and be the man. They never won anything in football. Never. The only player you can name in North Carolina is Mitch Trubisky and Julius Peppers. You don't know anybody. This was easy. This was come in here, get them to 6, 7 wins, shake some hands, just be Bill Belichick. Couldn't even do that, man. You couldn't even do that. And we all know how this Bill Belichick thing ends. It's just too loud. It's too noisy. If you're the parent of a very talented 19-year-old, would you let them commit to North Carolina right now? And does Bill seem like he's ready to put boots to the ground and do the dirty work? Does he seem like the type that's going to roll up his sleeves and really try to fix this thing? No. Bill, during the bye week, was in Nantucket. During the bye week, he was on vacation. That ain't the Bill Belichick that was coaching the New England Patriots. You just took a bye week with your girl in the middle of the season when y'all just got y'all teeth kicked in. Bill, it's over. I told you guys, just go to the Ringer, get you a podcast, and start doing TikToks and YouTube videos. That's what you need to be doing. That's my advice to Bill Belichick.
I do think one thing, real quick before you play the audio, I apologize. The reporting on this does have an interesting note. He's open to talking about the hierarchy about a buyout if he finds a soft landing at another job or the media.
Yeah, he's about to with the media.
I agree with the media. What other job does he think he is ever getting in football ever again? It's been a disaster at North Carolina. It's been Charlie Weiss at
job
Kansas.
In football he's about to get. He's about to get.
That's media to me.
Content creator for the Ringer. He's about to get weekly guests on Tuesdays on the Pat McAfee show. That's going to be his job in football.
I mean, this is Charlie Weiss, Les Miles at Kansas levels of bad.
I'm happy you brought that up. I didn't want to bring that up.
I
was thinking.
I was
the obvious
thinking comparison.
Okay, I'm just saying. I was thinking I didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to fire at your school. I didn't want to do that.
I actually don't know which one it is. Is it? I mean, Les Miles had some off the field kind of some stuff in his past. That Jeff Long was a problem. This may be more Charlie Weiss behavior, just out of his depth.
Let me play for you guys Chris Jones. Chris Jones earlier today had a press conference. He addressed the media to talk about the end of the game on Monday Night Football. Here's Chris Jones.
That's a teaching point for me, a little adversity. I can't think the play is over, you know what I mean? And it's a learning lesson, you know. Thought it was over, thought we had him down, so I kind of thought I was about to celebrate and then realized that he wasn't down. And, you know, a teaching lesson for me is don't stop, you know.
Have you talked to your teammates? Did you feel the need to mention that to them?
No, I think they understand that I thought the play was over with. And they understand I didn't quit, you know what I mean? It was just one of those instances where I thought he was down, then I thought we was about to get him down again, and, oh, my God, he's not down. So they understand. They understand that, you know, it won't happen again.
Was it tough to watch on tape with your teammates after seeing that?
Yeah, me personally, I kind of grade myself different than how everybody else grade me. So for me, it was tough because it's like, I had the opportunity, you know what I mean? And I just thought he was down. And, you know, it's my job not to think. It's my job to finish. And, you know, I'll be better at it.
Chris, I think like after the game you deleted some of the social media stuff. I know a lot of you guys go look at your phone. Did you see stuff on the phone that you were like, I don't need this?
Well, I actually 2 days before the game, I posted a Drake quote. I see you in a summary of 2026, and I deleted my social media before the game. I never run from constructive criticism. I've never been that guy. Always addressed it head on. Actually, you know, it's a lot you can take from criticism. It's like fuel. It's like gas for me personally. So, for me to delete my social media, no, I didn't delete my social media because of a play that I thought he was down and then run to. I deleted my social media days before. It just, you know, I guess people want to address me head on social media, and they've seen my social media wasn't active, so they figured that I deleted it for that. But it was deleted a couple days before, you know. And I don't mind constructive criticism, you know. I don't mind it. You know, it's actually fuel for me. So for me to delete that, I've never been a guy. I've been in this league 10 years, never been a guy to run from it.
I guess with the extra attention with a team like the Lions coming in, I guess with everything, how motivated are you for Sunday night?
I've been focused on the Lions since the game. You know what I mean? You can't hold your head on one play or one game. It's a week in and week out thing. You know, you learn from it. You take notes. Take the good, take the bad. It's never really as good as you seem. It's never really as bad as it seems. You just take the good with the bad, and you keep pushing.
Chris, let me ask you about the Detroit Lions offensive line. What are the challenges there with them?
They're battling a few injuries, but that group works really, really well together. I think they have one of the better right tackles in the game. Jerry Goff has a lot of playmakers around him, running backs. Amara. St. Brown, and excuse me for getting this name wrong. You know, they got a lot of talent on that offensive side of the ball, and their running backs, some of the top tier running backs in the league, and they have one of the fastest receiver core in the league. So it's going to be a challenge for us, especially to get after their quarterback to affect them, to put us in a position to win this game.
Couple more.
Chris, is one of the lessons here for you is you're never too old to learn lessons?
That's the thing about life. Every day is a lesson. It's about what you take from it, man. You know, fortunately for me, I'm able to sit and you guys are able to talk about it. But, you know, you can take a lot from it. What I just took from it, you just got to finish. It's not like I quit on anything. I thought he was down. So from now on, I'll make sure I finish.
Last one.
You said you deleted your social media before, and you mentioned you posted something. What was the impetus between getting rid of it at that point?
Yeah, because I take social media breaks. Like, I just came off of a 7-month binge of no social media. Like, I go through these periods where I don't need any social media. Sometimes it's not beneficial for me if it's not any brand deals that I have contracts with. So once I finished my contracts with my brand deals, I was like, I don't even want social media. It's all a facade. So I actually deactivated all my social media. I actually, a couple days before the game, I called my agents and I'm like, do I have any pending contracts with any brand deals before I deactivate my social media? And it was like, well, we're working on it, but you can deactivate it. I was like, cool, I'm going to deactivate it before we go play Jacksonville.
I mean, I understand getting off of Twitter. I don't know if Instagram kind of got me. TikTok kind of got me. I ain't getting off there. I mean, ain't no problems going on over there. People just kind of leave me alone over there. I'm just here to post pictures. I'm here to look at pictures, and I'm here to mind my business. I would have kept Instagram if I was Chris Jones. Hey, do what you got to do. I certainly understand getting off Twitter, but Instagram, come on now. I mean, these pictures aren't going to like themselves. That's what I'm here to tell you. These pictures, somebody's got to like them. That's my job to like these pictures. I'm tapping the hell out of that screen. You get 2 thumbs up for the outfit that you put on today. So, no, I wouldn't have got off there. But, no, that was Chris Jones. I just wanted to play that for you guys. And we actually learned something during there. Maybe you didn't learn something. I learned something. Remember how yesterday I was telling you guys how everybody has a name that they can't pronounce? I was telling you guys that the quarterback for UCLA that used to be at Tennessee, I have no clue how to pronounce his last name. Gronk, he can't pronounce Emeka Egbuka.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his number 1 wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over 100 yards.
So that's the name that Gronk can't say. We learned that Chris Jones can't say Amon-Ra St. Brown.
St. Brown, and excuse me for getting this name wrong.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You can't commit if you don't know. He tried. Like, St. Brown, yeah, I know that. That's, my bad. Chris, that wasn't disrespect, and I hope that Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't take it like disrespect. Everybody's got a name they can't pronounce. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's the name for Chris Jones. He can't say it. We learned that today. That's the number 1 thing that I learned. That's the most important thing. Just call him St. Brown. We all know who it is. Hey, that really talented receiver on the line, St. Brown, he's a dog. Yeah. You never got to say his first name. People know who you're talking about. You guys know who Nico is, the quarterback that used to be at Tennessee, that now is at UCLA, that left because of NIL. I don't ever have to say his last name. Rob, what was yours again? I forgot.
Mine was probably the manager of the Royals, Q. Because I've heard it so many ways. I just say Q.
Okay. Somebody said, say the Cal Bears quarterback. I don't know. I
don't follow the Cal Bears enough to know.
You think on a Saturday I'm watching Cal play? Come on now.
I think they're 4-1. One of the better teams in the ACC.
Okay.
Powerhouse ACC school,
Cal. Who have they played so far this season?
They play in the ACC, so no one.
Okay, well, there's teams. You could have played Miami.
They haven't played Miami, and they haven't played Georgia Tech, so they have played no one in the ACC.
Okay, this is who they played so far. Oregon State.
Easy.
Texas Southern.
Easy.
Minnesota. Boston College. Those are their wins. Okay, well.
Boston College, that's a big one.
Yeah, I see why I haven't watched them. They're 4-2. I'll never watch that team. I see what you're trying to get with the quarterback. I don't even want to try to pronounce his name because why in the world am I talking about Cal football? I should never be talking. The only reason we should be talking about Cal because we got Mitchell Schwartz in studio. That's the only reason why we should be talking about Cal. There ain't no other reason for us to be talking about Cal football on this show. You know what? We're going back to making fun of the Yankees.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
That just makes me smile. It really brings a smile to my face. They were really happy. They were really celebrating that the Yankees lost. That just makes me happy. I find myself, honestly, I like to root against teams more than I like to root for my own team. Just knowing that there are fan bases that are unhappy, that brings me happiness. And knowing that Yankees fans, once again, don't win a championship. Like, there's a 17-year-old Yankees fan that has never seen them win the World Series. He doesn't know what the Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams years are like. That doesn't make you happy? That's gotta bring a smile to your face. The Royals have won a World Series more recently than the Yankees have. That doesn't make you smile? You're not happy about that? I'm thrilled about it. I love it. Go Royals. So I just wanted to share that story with you. That's what I wanted to share. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Rob, can we talk about this for just a bit? And we're going to be joined here coming up by Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com. Why are so many people complaining about preseason polls? Now, I understand. Texas ended up not being good. Penn State ended up not being good. The preseason polls don't matter. They also don't have any bearing on who actually goes to the college football playoff. I would understand the complaining about preseason polls in college football if it was 2001, because they really mattered in 2001. They were a major factor. The polls, they don't matter until the end of October. That's when you need to pay attention, and that's when you need to care. I don't care what number is behind anybody's name. It's like Mizzou right now, as they're getting ready for this game against Alabama. I have no clue what Missouri is ranked because it doesn't matter what Missouri is ranked. It doesn't matter what Alabama is. Focus on yourself. Win your games. As long as you do that, you'll always be fine, especially if you're in a Power 4 conference. It's not like Missouri's a Group of 5 school. So it's going to work out. You play Alabama. You go on the road and play Vanderbilt. You play Oklahoma. You play Texas A&M. If you win the games you're supposed to win, it don't matter where you were ranked in the preseason. You'll keep getting ranked. You'll keep moving up the polls. I just feel like now we're overreacting about the preseason polls. They're fun. That's what they are. They're fun. They're nice little talking points. They're cool for the video game. They're cool for the first week of the season when you can say 2 is going up against 4. But now in a playoff system where there's 11 available spots for the Power 4 schools, it does not matter where you were ranked in the preseason because eventually you got to play somebody. Last year, we saw Indiana make the college football playoff. We saw SMU make the college football playoff last year. So if you don't make the college football playoff and you're in the Big 12, SEC, ACC, It's your fault. I don't want to hear about it's not the preseason rankings fault why you did make it. Missouri has all the chances in the world to make it. KU had all the chances in the world. K-State, whatever team you want to throw out there, it did not matter where you were ranked preseason. There's no reason to complain about them anymore.
I get what you're saying, but can I wait until I see the first college football playoff rankings? Because you and I both know there's going to be an inherent bias, and they're going to have the committee chair. I don't know who the committee chair is anymore, but they're going to have the committee chair on ESPN one night, and they're going to be like, hey, why did you have Team X over Team Y? And they're going to be like, oh, well, they won a game against a ranked opponent in week 2, and you're going to pull your hair out because that team isn't ranked anymore. It's only a matter of time before we slight Georgia Tech because, oh, well, they don't have a tough schedule, but we credit, I don't know, pick another team in college football. We credit Ohio State, who has just as easy of a schedule right now as Georgia Tech, and we say, well, in week 1, they had to beat Texas, and Texas was top 10. But we know now Texas is not a top 10 school. So
that's fair.
Why have them at all on week 6, which I believe when the college football rankings come out? Just have the first rankings be then. If you think you need
but I guess I would argue. But I would guess I would argue though the only rankings that matter. That's what happens. It does not matter what the AP thinks. It does not matter what the coaches poll. That is not how we determine anything anymore. So I see people making that argument. Wait until week 6 to release it. Why do they do it then? Because it looks good on television is why they do it. It looks good on television when you see a number by a team's name. The rankings that matter start Tuesday, November 4th. Those are the ones that matter. They have a television show by it. And for 6 weeks, they tell us who's ranked. So don't worry about it now. Don't look at it. It doesn't matter. Win your games. That's all you got to do. If you're in the Big 12, win the games you're supposed to win. You got Cincinnati at home, beat them. You got Iowa State at home, beat them. That's all you need to worry about. What does it matter? And then once you get to November and you keep winning the games you're supposed to win, the only people that matter are the 12 people that are on the committee and how they feel about your team and how you played in those games. So I don't care. I don't care if Missouri was ranked, unranked, ranked number 1. It does not matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We now have a good idea of what you need to do to make the college football playoff. You can't lose more than twice. And if you lose twice, you put yourself in a position where another 2-loss team might be ahead of you. Win your games. That's all you got to do. Take care of your own business. Put in your own work around here, and you'll be fine. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com. You could maybe argue that Missouri is a part of the biggest game in college football this weekend. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. People don't trust car buyers. People think the price is going to be wrong, and people think it's going to be a hassle. Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is what we do at GiveMeTheVin.com, and that's what makes us America's best car buyer. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now and get a quote on yours.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone. Lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live tomorrow from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday tailgate in Raymore. Located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to the Chiefs versus Lions game this weekend. This Friday, only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Blue Springs, you got a 2-car crash, 70 eastbound just past 7 Highway. The right lane is blocked. Headed into downtown Kansas side of things is stall 70 eastbound at 670 in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com. You could maybe argue that Oregon and Indiana have the biggest game this weekend. I'm arguing it's Mizzou and Alabama. Gabe, how you doing, man?
Not bad. What's going on, Karen?
Doing good, man. Happy to have you on the show today. You certainly have a better frame of reference than I do when it comes to this. I think this is the biggest Mizzou home game since they beat Texas A&M in Johnny Manziel's last game. Is there a game more recent than that I'm missing?
2014, the next year against Arkansas to win the SEC East, there was so much at stake there. I mean, you had to win that game you win that game and you're in the conference title game. So I think that's bigger. You could argue maybe LSU in 2023, defending national champs and all that. But this is in the conversation.
Yeah, it just feels like a really, really important game. And I think this just feels to me about one of those like changing perceptions games. I think the perception is that Missouri just doesn't have a lot of these kinds of wins. The perception around Alabama has really changed in the last couple of weeks. That happens when you go on the road and beat Georgia and you beat Vanderbilt. This is kind of the last in that swing for them. And at least Mizzou, I think in the SEC and certainly under Eli Drinkwitz, they just don't have a lot of these wins under their resume.
Yeah, I mean, nobody does, though. I mean, Alabama and Georgia don't lose many games. LSU doesn't lose many games. So you're right. Missouri, this is kind of that final frontier for Eli Drinkwitz is, okay, he has raised Missouri's – this is very much what Gary Pinkel did. He raised Missouri's profile in the Big 12 where once you got past Oklahoma and Texas, I mean, Missouri was in the conversation for – that next best team. And then what Gary, he finally in 2010 broke through and beat Oklahoma. But again, like we heard this for years about Gary Pinkel at Missouri, and the truth was, yeah, those teams don't lose very many games. So Drink has this program, I think, in the conversation of like, look, nobody's saying this is yet an elite program, but they're kind of in that next tier, and these are the kind of games that if you win them can get you into the elite tier.
Right now, we're talking to Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com, getting you ready for Mizzou and Alabama on Saturday morning. Gabe, when you watched Alabama, what stands out to you?
They're good. I mean, they can throw the football as well as anybody in the country. Ty Simpson and his receivers, I think a lot of weapons there. But I just keep coming back to with this Alabama team, like they could win the national title. They could be the best team in the country. But they don't have that, well, nobody can possibly beat them feeling. And it's not just because Florida State beat them, but it's the top of the sport has come back closer to everybody else. So that I don't think, there was a time when Alabama got off the bus and you were basically down 2 touchdowns. Just the fear factor. And I don't think that fear factor is there anymore.
Yeah, I think at least for me, the big reason that is I thought that Alabama just had such a significant advantage against teams on both the offensive and defensive line. Like if you look at the last 10, 15 years, how many guys in the NFL played on that D-line, and they just had 3 or 4 future NFL players on the offensive line. They don't seem nearly as dominant up front, and that's where, at least in this matchup, I feel like Missouri has a chance because we know this Missouri team is going to run the football. They're going to stay committed to it, and they might have the best running back in college football.
Yeah, I mean, if Missouri's going to win this game, I think that's where they're going to win it. Not only, up front on offense, but up front on defense. Because if this becomes a game where Missouri sits back and lets Ty Simpson, like if this becomes Missouri's defensive backs against Alabama's wide receivers, Missouri's going to lose that game every single time. They need to get pressure with this defensive line that, Damon Wilson and Zion Young are among the national leaders in pressure rate. I think Chris McClellan inside is a really underrated guy who's had a good season. So it seems weird to say, but if Missouri's going to win it, I think the biggest difference will be up front on both sides of the ball.
I love having the Heisman conversations, and it certainly makes sense. I understand the sport that the quarterbacks right now are getting a lot of love in that Heisman conversation. If Ahmad Hardy has the game that he had against Kansas, the game that he had against South Carolina, if he can replicate that against Alabama, he is going to be on a lot of nationals people radar and really put himself in the Heisman favorite conversation.
I mean, he's already, I think, on that radar. But, look, the Heisman is going to be – if you're in the playoff, you have a chance to win the Heisman. If you aren't, you probably don't. Now, there are exceptions, Travis Hunter, but, I don't think Ahmad Hardy's going to suddenly start playing outside linebacker. So for the most part, I mean, the Heisman has become, let's pick an offensive player, preferably the quarterback on one of the best teams in the country. And yeah, I guess if he has a good game and they win tomorrow, Ahmad Hardy fits that bill.
Right now, we're talking to Gabe DeArmond of Power Mizzou here for a couple more minutes. Gabe, who do you think the X factor for Missouri is in pulling off the slight upset?
Yeah, offensively, I would go with Brett Norfleet, just a guy that kind of can help you move the chains in the passing game. He's had a good year. Is this kind of a coming out party for him on a bigger stage? Defensively, I don't really know that there is an X factor because like I said, I think the biggest factor in this game is you have to pressure Ty Simpson. So I don't know, pick a guy that manages to get in the backfield a lot, and that's who I'd pick. If you really want the X factor, though, it's what if this game comes down to a kick?
Yeah, that's a big question there. How confident are you in Missouri if this does come down to a 42-yard field goal to win it?
About 50-50. And that will be true if it's a 32-yard field goal or a 52-yard field. I mean, I have no idea. Every kick is going to be a little bit of an adventure. I would say that I don't think that would be Eli Drinkwitz's game of choice, is to have it come down to a 42-yard field goal. Or if it comes down to a 42-yard field goal, I think he might prefer the other team is kicking it.
Last couple of questions here, Gabe. Let's just start with this. I think you always just want to be in a position where you got a shot to make the college football playoff. There's no question that Missouri has a shot. I mean, if you're looking at their schedule right now, you have Alabama on the road against Auburn, on the road against Vanderbilt, A&M. I guess you could throw that Mississippi State game in there. They're a little better than people thought, but that's a game you should win at home, and then on the road against Oklahoma. So if you're looking at those five, I'm guessing Missouri probably has to go 3-2 at a minimum to put themselves in the playoff conversation at the end of the year.
I mean, depending on what happens tomorrow, yeah, or Saturday. If they lose Saturday, then they've got to go 5-1 in the last six. They've got to be 10-2. And then I think that will, in most scenarios, be good enough. If you go 10-2 in the SEC, I think you give yourself an excellent shot to get in, and that's why Saturday is big, because it's the difference between having to finish 4-2 and having to finish 5-1.
What are you hearing about Eli Drinkwitz in Florida? I feel like that's like the hot rumor right now in college football. I think we all know that they're probably going to let go of their coach at the end of the year. Drinkwitz would just make a lot of sense. What are you hearing?
Well, first of all, I mean, this time last year, everybody had Billy Napier fired, and he didn't get fired. He's just coming off a win over Texas, so we'll see. If they make that move, yeah, I assume Eli will get a call. I would be surprised if he didn't. I think he will be one of the hotter names in the country for big-time programs looking to make a hire. I would also argue, and I did in a column yesterday, like, he has everything he needs here. I'm not sure Florida is a better job than Missouri, to be quite honest with you. So we'll see. Ultimately, it would come down to his opinion and how he feels about things, and I certainly don't know that. But I also think, hey, you got 7 games left that could get you a season that you haven't seen around here, so I'll worry about the other stuff if it happens.
Gabe, have you made your official prediction yet? If you have, I missed it. Have you picked a winner yet?
No, I mean, I don't know. I do enough interviews that I pick a winner 9 different times during the week. Look, I'm leaning toward picking Missouri. I haven't picked a final score yet. This just kind of feels like it's time to break through this imaginary frontier here. And, it reminds me of Oklahoma week in 2010.
That is Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com joining us on the show today. I saw this stat, Gabe. It's the first top 15 matchup in Columbia since the 70s. I know the BCS ranking, but it's been a long time since there's been a big home game of this magnitude in Columbia. Always appreciate your time, Gabe. Thanks for popping on today.
All right, have a good one.
Absolutely. That's Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com joining us on the show. We'll get to that more coming up on Friday as we get you ready for the game. Coming up at the top of the hour, I asked Rob to do one exercise. I asked Rob to write down every team in the NFL that he thinks is good. I did the same. We'll go through it. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Overland Park, you've got a 2-car crash, 69 southbound. The exit to 103rd, be prepared to tap your brakes there. That's a 2-car crash left lane. Blue Springs, that stall still working, 70 eastbound past 7 Highway in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val 96.5 The Fan.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Alex for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets will expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Airman here for Midwest Heating. Now, we like to approach life in a lighthearted manner, but with the projected rise in natural gas prices, this winter's heating bills may be no joking matter. Many old furnaces have efficiency ratings as low as 60%, which means you're literally burning money. So think about this. Midwest Heating has a variety of high-efficiency Lennox systems that can heat your home, drastically improve your air quality, and boost that efficiency as high as 99%. Saving that kind of money each month will be a nice help for the other bills in your life. Even better, Midwest offers up to $1,800 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems and up to 60-month 0% financing with approved credit. Dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com for complete details. Now, for 7 decades, it's the same story. Trust your air to the best. Midwest. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for over 45 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years. And I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or LewisburgFord.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, Rob, I want us to come together for an exercise. This is the exercise that I would like for us to come together to do. Text line, you are more than welcome to participate in this exercise. I thought of this because we are kind of reaching the point, in my opinion, that anytime we talk about a team and you think they're good or I think they're good, the text line immediate reaction is, well, they haven't beaten anybody. Look at their schedule. We were talking about the Lions yesterday, and the feeling around the Lions is, well, I don't know how good they are because the Lions haven't beaten anybody. The Lions' wins so far this season are the Bears, Ravens, Browns, and Bengals. Now, I'm not going to pretend like that is some murderer's row, but the Lions have been good now for 3 consecutive seasons. If there is a benefit of the doubt to be given, I think the Lions have earned that benefit of the doubt. So I think the Lions are a good team. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go through who are the teams that you think are good. They don't have to be Super Bowl contending teams because I think that's a very different conversation. But I just want your opinion. Let's just start in the AFC. I wrote down 7 teams.
You have 7 teams in the good category?
In the AFC.
We have a very different threshold of good then, because I have 1. I have 1 written down for good.
You just have Buffalo?
I just have Buffalo. By the way, my AFC I don't know category is 6 deep. So
That's
I have
fair.
a hunch that your 7 is going to be a lot of my I don't know category.
I'm with you. It does sound like that. So Buffalo, of course. I think Buffalo's the best team in the league. I have Buffalo, New England, the Colts, Jacksonville, and then I have Denver, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. Now, honestly, admittedly, I struggled with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are under 500. The Chiefs have not been over 500 at any point this season. They have not really been consistent so far this season. But I am more than willing to give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. I think the Chiefs are a good football team. Inconsistent at times. They've lost some coin flip games, but I'm not putting them into the bad category of teams. So those are the teams that I think are good teams. I'm not sure if Pittsburgh is a good team or not. They have gotten off to a good start, but I feel like I've seen this with the Steelers every single season. They get off to a really good start where they start off 5-1 or 6-2, and then the next thing you know, you look up and they're 9-8. The Steelers are 3-1 with a negative point differential. What are we doing here? They're 3-1 with a negative point differential. They can't be that great. Where Indianapolis is 4-1 and they're plus 74 in the point differential. I think the Colts are deserving of being in the good team category. Jacksonville, a home Monday night win against the Chiefs, I got to throw you in that category. We can play the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Fact of the matter is they played Kansas City. They beat Kansas City. They're 4-1. I think they deserve to be talked about and treated right now like they're a good team. Again, I want to be clear here. There is a difference in being a good team and a Super Bowl contending team. But just for the point of who do you think in the league is good? Those are the 7 teams that I have. It sounds like your list is a lot more stringent than that. I wonder why that is.
So my list is 1 good team because the way I did it, and I'm sure the text line's about to tell me that the Bills' resume is you can shoot holes in it.
I mean, the top text right now is Buffalo is iffy too. Their defense stinks.
Of course.
You can't like any team.
Can't like any team. I was viewing it like who has the least amount of holes in their resume. And if I can poke 3, 4, 5 holes in your resume, it's hard for me to lock you into the good category. So I had 7 teams that I put into my I don't know category, and I had 1 in the good. Buffalo's the good. We don't need to go through the why. The 7 that I had to put in the I don't know, New England, I think New England is good, but that same team lost at home to the Raiders, so I don't know. This makes me a hater, and that's fine. Jags and Colts feel like paper tigers to me. I know the Jags won on Monday night. Credit to them. They tried about a dozen times to lose that game. The Chiefs were just unwilling to accept that they wanted to lose. So I think both of them are in the I don't know category. Chargers and Broncos. I have no idea what to do with those teams. I think both are good, but I also think both are kind of beat up, and Bo Nix is a roller coaster of emotion. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's terrible. The Chiefs, I don't need to echo what you said. I put them in the I don't know category because, and this will make me very unpopular in the text line, the Chiefs haven't beaten anyone good. Anyone that you think is like, I don't know, I think they're good, that team beats the Chiefs. Any team that you think, oh, they stink, the Chiefs beats them. So they have to go in the I don't know category. And then I have the Steelers in the I don't know category because you're right. They have a negative point differential despite winning, but they do have a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame coach. So I think they're actually bad, but their record makes you think they're good. So they end up in the I don't know category. But teams with holes in their resume ended up in the I don't know. So I have 1 that I locked into good and 7 that I said I honestly don't know.
Yeah, this is, I guess, what I would say. It sounds to me that some teams are simply being penalized for just not being a name brand, where Kansas City, name brand. We know them. We trust them. They've been in our lives now for 8 years. Buffalo, name brand. Detroit, name brand. They've been around for the last couple of years. I don't really know why I would put Indianapolis, based on what we've seen so far, in the I don't know category, other than they're just not a traditional power. I mean, I'm looking at points scored so far right now. They've scored 163 points. So they have scored more points than any team in the AFC. They have also allowed the third fewest amount of points of any team in the AFC.
I will say, I hate to interrupt. I apologize. I feel like you play the schedule game a little bit with the Colts, and yes, they beat the Broncos, who's in the I don't know category. But other than that, you walloped down the Titans. You walloped the Dolphins. You walloped the Raiders. Those are teams that are fighting for Garrett Nussmeier. Like, I think the schedule game comes into play a little bit. And me and you disagree on the schedule game at this point in the season, that's fine. But when I look at the Colts wins, I think to myself, you know who also could win these games? Oregon. This is a really bad schedule with wins.
So that's who I have in the AFC, and I just have more teams than you have in the AFC. I have Denver on there. I am curious why Denver, I guess, is in your I don't know category. I asked that because Denver won double-digit games last year, and this season, I mean, they have, I would say, one of the better road wins that you can have. They went on the road and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, maybe this is to your point, talking about the schedule. I mean, their schedule is about to really lighten up, where I think that the Broncos are going to be in a position to really gobble up some wins. And I would also say, maybe this is the same point, they outplayed Indianapolis. They should have beat the Colts earlier this season. I do feel like we can either play the schedule game with every team in the league, or we can play the what we think their record should be game with just about everybody. Well, that team could be 4-1 if you change these things. Well, they could be 2-3 if you done. Well, what's their record? Like, what have they actually done, and what have they accomplished? The Broncos' next 4 weeks are against the Jets, Giants, Cowboys, and Houston. So they are playing two teams that I feel very strongly are going to pick in the top 10. Dallas is probably going to get like the 11th or 12th pick in the NFL draft, and I don't really think Houston's that good either. So when can we kind of get to the point where we're going to know if the Broncos are a good team or not? Now, they play Kansas City. That's not for another month until they play the Chiefs. They go on the road and they play the Commanders. They play Green Bay. They play Jacksonville. Those are just later on in the season. So it sounds to me like you feel like, hey, we're not going to know if the Broncos are good or not until week 10, week 11. Until then, they're just going to be in this I don't know category.
That's 100% how I feel about the Broncos. And some of it's too, and maybe this is your name brand point, man, Bo Nix in losses looks like, what is he doing? Like, there are moments where you think to yourself, I don't know that Bo Nix is taking that step forward. Then there's games where this fourth quarter against the Eagles, you go, oh, boom, there it is. But he's a little bit inconsistent. Now, he's going to look consistent against these garbage teams, but I do think Bo Nix needs to be a better-looking quarterback to me before I can put them in the they are good category.
So in the NFC, these are the teams that I have. Something tells me if you only got one team in the AFC, there might only be one team in the NFC that you have as well.
Okay, we're going to be very different in the NFC. I can already tell you. I got 4 in the NFC.
Okay, all right. So I have 7. I have 7 teams that I think are good in the NFC. I have Philadelphia, Washington, Detroit, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the Rams, and San Francisco. Now, I am willing to entertain the possibility of moving some of these teams into the I don't know category. The Rams, to me, seem like a team that I'd be willing to entertain the I don't know. Washington seems like a team that I'd be willing to entertain the I don't know. The other teams, I think, have proven that they are good teams. So, to me, I got 5 for sure and a 2 possible in the NFC.
Okay, I have 4 locks, and then a couple of those teams you mentioned, I fall into the I don't know category. We agree on the Lions, we agree on the Bucks, we agree on the Niners. I think the Niners actually, if they get healthy, could be really good. Like, they're winning in spite of their injuries, good for them. The Eagles are also, those are my 4 goods. Then it's just a lot of I don't know again. I think the Commanders are good, but I honestly don't know. Like, they suffered loss without Jaden Daniels, but those losses count, and they lost on the road in Green Bay. Seattle and L.A., I have no idea what either of those teams are at this point in the season. I think the Rams have a chance to be good, but they just keep losing games they shouldn't. I have the Packers in the I don't know category. You can't tie the Cowboys, who I think are going to have the 11th pick, and You can't lose to the Browns and have me
Back-to-back
lock
weeks, yeah.
You can't have me lock you into the good category. I actually think the Vikings are in the I don't know category as well. Yeah, you're 3-2. You might be a playoff team. Do you have a quarterback? Do you not have a quarterback? I don't know. Like that's my I don't know category. So I'm just apparently a little more liberal with my I don't know category than you are, because there's a lot of question marks in NFC. More in the AFC, in my opinion, but that's kind of how I shook it out.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like you have 5 teams that you would deem to be certainties at this point, and there's probably 11 or 12 teams that are just, we're trying to still figure out and gather information on if we think they're good or not, which I think is a fair point with where we are in the NFL season. I just wanted to go through this exercise because what I don't want to do as the season progresses is, and I feel like we'll find a reason, like there are reasons to not like every team, right? There are reasons to not like everybody. So I don't really think that anybody has the perfect resume. Like every human being has a red flag. Every human being has a reason why you shouldn't be with them. But you got to look past those things and find the good in that person, and ultimately that's the person that you settle down with. I just feel like we have watched enough football, even so far through the first 5 weeks of the season, that I can tell you what the fatal flaw is for every single team in the National Football League. Hey, why you could miss the playoffs or why you will get eliminated very early in the playoffs really comes down to a small handful of things. This is not a season where there is going to be a team that kind of runs away from everybody else. Maybe Buffalo does it because of their schedule. I'm not going to overreact to them having 3 turnovers in a divisional game. I still think Buffalo obviously is a very, very good team in the league, but I'm with you. There does feel like there is a more noticeable and more pronounced group of teams that just feel like they are in this very uncertain place where their season could go one way or the other. We can keep talking about this on the other side. 913-586-7965. I asked Rob to make a list of the teams that he thinks are good in the National Football League, and he only put 5 teams down on the list. Keep it right here, so drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
It's football season, and I can't wait for the games. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents per gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
Don't become another lab-grown diamond victim. There are many reasons you will never see a lab-grown diamond for sale at House of Diamonds. You can learn a few of them online at mybigrock.com. Maybe a wholesale price or 2 as well. That's mybigrock.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Week 6 of pro football kicks off on Thursday night as Philadelphia visits the New York team in blue. Philly, a 7.5-point road favorite, total in the game 40.5. And as long as the number's at 7.5, I think New York is worth a look. Philly dealing with injuries on its offensive line, and the offense can't get out of its own way. And one thing New York's defense has going for it is a good defensive front that could impact Philadelphia's offense. So coming up on Thursday night, as long as the number's 7.5, I would consider placing a bet on the New York team in blue. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here, and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with 0 down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just $0 down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Okay, wreck downtown 70 eastbound past 9 highway. Right lane is blocked, and down south, that's a two-car crash. 69 headed southbound. The wreck is 103rd. Be prepared to tap your brakes there from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center on Val. 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up in a little bit, if you missed Chris Jones talking to the media earlier today, we're going to play the best of it. We made like a 4-minute cut that we'll play for you guys, all the interesting parts of what Chris Jones had to say earlier today as he met with the media. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. I have a lot of random things that are swirling around in my head that I like to get to before we get there. So we were just talking about, I asked Rob to make a list of the teams that he thinks are good in the National Football League. He only wrote down 5 teams. Rob, one more time for the people who are just tuning in, who are the teams in the NFL that you think are good?
I have the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, and the Chiefs' opponent, the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so those are the teams that you have good. So you only have one good team in the AFC. You also had a group of teams that you would say are in the I don't know category. It sounded like there was 14 teams in the I don't know category. I think for the most part that's fair. But where I think you and I disagree a little bit is I think for a team like Kansas City, your brand name has to matter a little bit in this. that Kansas City, over the course of the last 5 years, has been such a dominant, great team. I don't know if after 5 games I can now say that I don't know if you're a good team or not. Now, you can obviously be removed from that list, and we can just snatch that label off of you. But until a lot more evidence and until proven otherwise, I'm keeping Kansas City in the good list of teams with an expectation that they are going to be in a position to turn things around in the second half of the season. You then mentioned that there was a group of teams, like a certain group you don't know about, the Colts, the Jaguars, those kind of teams. I think some of that just has to deal with the fact of we are not talking about brand name kind of teams that usually you kind of got to prove it to us and you kind of got to break through before we sort of believe it. I think with some teams, we purposely want to be late to the party than early to the party. Like, no one wants to look silly for believing in the Indianapolis Colts or the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we kind of find teams historically that kind of mirror those teams, and we think that's going to be the outcome. The question that I've asked about this season is, what if this is just one of those random years in the NFL? I mean, it's not like we are immune to this. We've seen Joe Flacco win the Super Bowl. We've seen Rex Grossman take a team to a Super Bowl. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo do this. I mean, for as much as we talk about quarterback, it's a lot of random average quarterbacks that just seem to kind of slip through the cracks. What if this is just one of those kinds of seasons? That, yes, you've got your Mahomes, you've got your Allens, you've got the Herberts, you've got those guys. But right now, you got a quarterback like Daniel Jones, who's playing very, very well so far. Mac Jones in San Francisco has played very well so far this season. What if this is just one of those random years where one of those quarterbacks end up getting through? One thing that you and I do agree with, nobody seems to believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. You even have Pittsburgh in your I don't know category.
I had Pittsburgh in my I don't know.
Okay.
I
feel like we know.
They were the last team in.
I just feel like we know.
Their record makes you think the point differential. Like, I don't think they're good, but I mean, they just keep winning. I don't get how.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly with you. I mean, we've got 2 weeks when it comes to them. They play Cleveland and they play Cincinnati, and then I feel like we're going to start to get our answer real soon. They play Green Bay, Indianapolis, and on the road against the Chargers. If that stretch doesn't show you who the Steelers are, then I would just say you don't want to see who the Steelers are. That feels like a very important stretch of games for them. I want to get to Chris Jones here coming up in a little bit. This has nothing to do with Chris Jones. I just want to ask you either way, Rob. When you think of the Disney Channel, what's the show that you think of? This was a very popular debate in my group chat yesterday of what's the show that first comes to your mind when you think of Disney Channel. What's that show for you?
So it's a show. I can't be like, the original movies.
No.
Okay, so it's
like when you were growing up, if I showed you the Disney Channel logo and I ask you what's the show that first comes to your mind?
That's a great question.
Mine was Lizzie McGuire.
The first 3 that came to my mind when you said that were Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, and Kim Possible. All jump to my mind.
Yeah, the only reason I'm a little surprised by that, because that doesn't seem like your era, your generation. I just can't see you watching a lot of Sweet Life and Zack and Cody. You and I are around the same age. It feels like you watched a lot of Even Stevens' Proud Family. So I'm surprised that you threw Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in there.
I was a Nickelodeon kid, but my brother, who's a little bit younger than me, he was a Disney kid. Think about he's 3-4 years younger than me.
So yeah, you're watching Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
When I wasn't in control of the remote, it was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which I still wasn't too old for.
So what was your Nickelodeon show? You were watching like iCarly?
Okay, first off, how old do you think I am?
I'm just asking. I don't know what shows you were watching.
No. I'm talking about like Rugrats.
Okay,
I'm talking
all right.
Hey
I'm making
Arnold.
sure. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you confuse me. You said Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Maybe you're watching Zoe 101. I don't know what was going on in the Britton household. I don't know what was going on. That's why I was curious. That's why I was very, very curious on what show you were watching. I just didn't know.
So on the text line says Wizards of Waverly Place. Not that young.
Yeah, you're 19 if you were watching that.
You're 11.
Yeah, mine is Lizzie McGuire. That's the show that I think of. That, Even Stevens, and That's So Raven.
That's So Raven. Yeah, That's So Raven was such a good show.
It was a very, very good show.
I feel like it was short-lived. I think it was a great, I bet if we looked it up, it didn't last as long as we think.
I feel like you hating a little bit. Don't not do that. Let's not hate on That's So Raven. A timeless show. A timeless show. All right, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about before we play the Chris Jones. And admittedly, I'm a bit confused. So I'm surfing the internet, and I'm seeing very conflicted information. So one of the tweets that I saw, shout out to my guy, How About Those Chiefs? Be sure to check out his podcast page. He was tweeting out some of the pressure information. So, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but George Karlaftis is tied for first in the National Football League with pressures. He is tied with Aiden Hutchinson. Both of them have 31 pressures. Now, I feel like you and I watch these games. I don't see him being that disruptive, but I'm not here to argue with the numbers. So I saw that George Karlaftis has tied for the most pressures in the entire National Football League with 31. I then saw that Chris Jones was tied for defensive tackle for third with 20. So between Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, the raw numbers are telling me that they have 51 pressures between the two of them, which seemed like a whole lot. But then I saw Dan Orlowski tweet out pass rush win rate, which honestly, I have no clue what that means. I feel like we have just started coming up with advanced metrics, which is fine. It's all tools. It's all numbers. It's all information. So Dan Orlowski tweeted out that they are 23rd in the NFL on pass rush win rate. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, and I maybe I should know this. You guys are saying, how do you not know that? You work in sports. And that's maybe a fair stance to have. Wait. You're telling me that they have the person who is number one in pressures in the league. They also have the third best defensive tackle also in pressures in the league. But yet they're bottom 10 in pass rush win rate. How can both of those things be true? Maybe I don't know what a pressure is anymore. That's what it made me feel like. It made me feel like I have no clue with what a pressure is. And it also made me feel like in some of these numbers, you just got to trust your instincts. We watch these games. You watch their defensive line. Do you feel like they have one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the league when you watch the games? Because that's what these numbers would tell you. They would tell you that George Karlaftis is one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the game. It would tell you that Chris Jones is still one of the most disruptive guys in the game. Is that the feeling that you guys are getting when you're watching these games? Because I'm not getting those. I'm getting the numbers I got from Dan Orlowski. That's how they feel like. They feel like they're ranked 23rd. He also did the last 4 years. So the Chiefs, they were 5th in 2022. They were 11th in 23. They were 19th last year, and they are 23rd so far this season. That seems to me to be in line with what I'm seeing as I'm watching the games. I'm watching a D-line that is less effective at being able to win their matchup up front, disrupt timing, and get to the quarterback. But then I'm looking at pressures, which obviously matter, and you're telling me that they're one of the best teams in the league at getting to the other team's quarterback. I don't know which number to trust.
Okay, so I don't mean to discount one of the numbers. That's fine. But I'm going to discount pressures because the eye test and that win rate number seem to match up. They seem to coalesce because they always seem to be, when they were at their best, they seem to do a great job getting pressure on the quarterback, especially with their front four. They did an incredible job of it. I don't think they were great at it last year. Some of it's a Menahu's injury. Some of it's just, attrition, whatever. And I feel like when I watch these games, they are bad at it this year. And I feel like if you follow a bunch of the film analyst people, the eye in the sky, don't lie type of people, your Matt Bowens, your Seth Keisers, those types. You see their work, you read their articles, you get a lot of, man, the Chiefs front four is not doing a good job. So I'm going to follow the stat that follows what I'm reading in other publications and what my eyes say, which is that the Chiefs pressure win rate is bad. And if the Chiefs pressure win rate is bad, that would explain why their D-line has been so mediocre this season. Like, we and you have talked about it. Where have they been? So I'm going to discount the pressure stat and look more at the win rate stat.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you guys that sometimes there are some things that maybe they're outside my purview. Like I'm reading this right here. I feel like the Chiefs D-line is disruptive. They just can't get home. They can't contain and they can't wrap up the quarterback. Then you're not disruptive. What are we talking about then? That's all that really matters, is it not? That's all that really matters. The pressures sound good, but are you using them to be disruptive? Are you using them to bring the quarterback down? And the answer is no. Chris Jones has 5.5 sacks in his last 27 games. He ain't getting to the other team's quarterback. You ain't that disruptive. You ain't creating sacks. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, they've been playing against running quarterbacks. That's football in 2025. The days of the Eli Manning stand back there like a statue quarterback, that time's completed. There's not many of those in the league anymore. Everybody has a quarterback that's a little bit mobile.
I also, yes, you're correct. I also disagree with the idea they've played only mobile quarterbacks. Let's not confuse Trevor Lawrence for Lamar Jackson.
Or Russell Wilson.
It's not like Justin Herbert is the reincarnation of Mike Vick out there. Russell Wilson runs in cinder block shoes. He can't get away from anyone. Yes, Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback, but it's not like they have a lot of design runs for him other than the tush push. He actually has a little more pocket passer energy than people think. Like, it's not like they faced Vic, Lamar Jackson, and Randall Cunningham in back-to-back weeks. It's just guys have been running on them. It's not that they are facing running quarterbacks. Like, I bet if you pulled the numbers, I'm betting that Trevor Lawrence was not one of the better running quarterbacks in the NFL before Monday night, and then he just broke loose. Like that, I don't think he's a runner by nature.
I think that Trevor Lawrence is maybe like you know how we use like Alex Smith as like a baseline for like you have a good quarterback but not a great quarterback? Trevor Lawrence is like the baseline for quarterback athleticism. He's average athleticism compared to other NFL quarterbacks. He's not a statue, but he's also not one of the more athletic QBs. Like, I don't think he's as athletic as Patrick Mahomes is. He's certainly not a Kyler Murray level athlete or Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. He's not one of those guys. He's fine athletically. So, again, the same way that we use Alex Smith as like a frame of reference, like, oh, he's like Alex Smith. Yeah, that's kind of what Trevor Lawrence is, I would say, from an athleticism standpoint. I'm not here to disrespect his athleticism, but he also isn't a guy that you got to be hyper afraid of to take off running, at least not the way that he looked on Monday night.
I also tell you that I think he's more athletic than Justin Herbert. So the idea that they've played running quarterbacks, Justin Herbert made a running play against the Chiefs. No one has confused Justin Herbert for running quarterback. Like, I don't mean to disparage people who are more athletic than me, athleticism, but would you have Justin Herbert in the top 15 as far as athleticism among quarterbacks in the NFL? He's far more this era's Matt Stafford than he is this era's, Lamar Jackson. So he's not a runner in my mind at all.
I want to play this audio for you guys. This was Chris Jones earlier today. He met with the media to talk about the end of the Jaguars game. Here's Chris Jones.
It's a teaching point for me, a little adversity. I can't think the play is over, you know what I mean? And it's a learning lesson, Thought it was over, thought we had him down, so I kind of thought I was about to celebrate and then realized that he wasn't down. And, a teaching lesson for me is don't stop,
Have you talked to your teammates? Did you feel the need to mention that to them?
No, I think they understand that I thought the play was over with. And they understand I didn't quit, you know what I mean? It was just one of those instances where I thought he was down. Then I thought we was about to get him down again, and oh my God, he's not down. So they understand. They understand that, it won't happen again.
Was it tough to watch on tape with the teammates after seeing that?
Yeah, me personally, I kind of grade myself different than how everybody else grade me. So for me, it was tough because it's like, I had the opportunity, you know what I mean? And I just thought he was down, and it's my job not to think. It's my job to finish, and, I'll be better at it.
Chris, I think like after the game, you deleted some of the social media stuff. I know a lot of you guys go look at your phone. Did you see stuff on the phone that you were like, I don't need this?
Well, I actually, 2 days before the game, I posted a Drake quote. I see you in a summary of 2026, and I deleted my social media before the game. I never run from constructive criticism. I've never been that guy. I always addressed it head on. Actually, it's a lot you can take from criticism. It's like fuel. It's like gas for me personally. So, for me to delete my social media, no, I didn't delete my social media because of a play that I thought he was down and then run to. I deleted my social media days before. It just, people seen, I guess people wanted to address me head on social media, and they seen my social media wasn't active, so they figured that I deleted it for that, but it was deleted a couple days before, And I don't mind constructive criticism, you know. I don't mind it. You know, it's actually fuel for me. So for me to delete that, I've never been a guy. I've been in this league 10 years, never been a guy to run from it.
I guess with the extra attention with a team like the Lions coming in, I guess with everything, how motivated are you for Sunday night?
I've been focused on the Lions since the game. You know what I mean? You can't hold your head on one play or one game. It's a week in and week out thing. You know, you learn from it. You take notes. You take the good, take the bad. It's never really as good as you seem. It's never really as bad as it seems. You just take the good with the bad, and you keep pushing.
Chris, I'm asking about the Detroit Lions offensive line. What are the challenges there with them?
They're battling a few injuries, but that group works really, really well together. I think they have one of the better right tackles in the game. Jared Goff has a lot of playmakers around him, running backs. Amara St. Brown. Excuse me for getting this name wrong. You know, they got a lot of talent on that offensive side of the ball, and their running backs, some of the top tier running backs in the league, and they have one of the fastest receiver core in the league. So it's going to be a challenge for us, especially to get after their quarterback to affect them, to put us in a position to win this game.
Couple more.
Chris, is one of the lessons here for you is you're never too old to learn lessons?
That's the thing about life. Every day is a lesson. It's about what you take from it, man. You know, fortunately for me, I'm able to sit and you guys are able to talk about it. But, you know, you can take a lot from it. What I just took from it, you just got to finish. It's not like I quit on anything. I thought he was down. So from now on, I'll make sure I finish.
Last one.
You said you deleted your social media before, and you mentioned you posted something. What was the impetus between getting rid of it at that point?
Yeah, because I take social media breaks. You're like, I just came off of a 7-month binge of no social media. Like I go through the periods where I don't need any social media. Sometimes it's not beneficial for me if it's not any brand deals that I have contracts with. So once I finished my contracts with my brand deals, I was like, I don't even want social media. It's all a facade. So I actually deactivated all my social media. I actually, a couple days before the game, I called my agents and I'm like, do I have any pending contracts with any brand deals before I deactivate my social media? And they was like, well, we're working on it, but you can deactivate it. I was like, cool, I'm going to deactivate it before we go play Jacksonville.
I know we're up against it, Rob, and we can talk more about this, and I really don't want to belabor the point. I'm not here to just pick at everything that he said. He said he didn't quit and then quite literally described quitting. He said he stopped on the play. Let me ask you something. When you stop doing something, what does that mean? Like if you were doing something and then in the middle you just decide, nah, I'm good. Did you quit or nah? Like that's what you described. He said, it's not like I quit. I thought he was down, so I stopped. Then you quit. What are we arguing here? Like maybe I'm the only person that heard it the way that he said it, but the literally way that he described it is quite literally the definition of quitting. We can talk about this more coming up on the other side. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right, with a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your Happy Plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union. Invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live tomorrow from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday tailgate in Raymore. Located at 1400 West Foxwood Drive. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and Casey Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to the Chiefs versus Lions game this weekend. This Friday, only at Community America Credit Union in Raymore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Crash in Grandview, 49 northbound, just past 140th. It is the right lane blocked. Downtown KC, big backups, very red through there. The stall is 35 southbound, just before 70 in the right lane. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, the text line is making a good point. I at least want to acknowledge that. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, you were taking his words too literal. He didn't mean that he quit on the team or the game. He simply relaxed his guard, which is not a smart thing to do, but I wouldn't consider that quitting, which is fair. All right. A couple other people are saying that. I think what he described as quitting, but okay, I don't want to fight over that. I still will ask the question, and no one has been able to answer the question, how in the world, Chris Jones in the same breath can't tell me that he's been in the league for 10 years and then think that Trevor Lawrence was down. You can't. You know the rules. He wasn't down. We all knew that he wasn't down. How could you think that he was down? He was on the ground. No one had touched him. He's eligible to get back up. He then starts running, and your teammates start trying to tackle him, and he never started running. Ever. He never started running. There was never a point in the play where Chris Jones was going even 50% speed. So I just want to know when you thought he was down and who you thought got him down. We don't got to belabor the point. I don't know how you thought Trevor Lawrence was down, really, at any point in the play. He tripped over his own guy. You're eligible to get back up. You can then run, throw. Who do you think brought him down? How is the play over? He's still alive. He's still eligible. This isn't college. So that's the part that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The story's just not adding up. You weren't good enough on that play, and that's just what happens. Rob, I want to ask you this, and I know we'll get to the top of the hour. We'll get back to the Chiefs. Did you hear about this all-women sports bar that's opening up? Did you hear about this?
In town?
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, well, look, I'm here to deliver news to you guys. So there is a sports bar that is about to open up in downtown Kansas City. It is going to be called The Dub, and they are going to prioritize women's sports. You know, with the current in town and the World Cup coming up, there's a lot of excitement, people coming in and out of town, tourists and all of this stuff. This is going to open up in downtown Kansas City. I didn't get more information than that. It's just called The Dub, and they are going to prioritize women's sports. I don't want to sound sexist at all, and I'm not here to knock anybody's ideas. Does this sound like a good business model? They even said, and I can even play the news story for you if you want to hear it, they said when there's not women's sports on, they are just going to replay women's sports. So wait, you're telling me that you're running a sports bar and it doesn't prioritize the NFL? Like, what are we doing here? This doesn't sound like a good business model to me. This doesn't sound like a great business model. What are we doing in the summer when there's not a lot of sports going on? Are we not showing the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's not great. I thought when you said that, it was a sports bar run by women that will prioritize women's sports, but will also simultaneously show other sports. But if it's...
I mean, I can send you the news story so you can play it. What they said is they are going to prioritize live women's sports, and when there are not live women's sports, they are then going to show replays and have trivia nights, which I'm all for a television that has women's sports on. We support women's sports. Hey, you want to show women's soccer on the TV?
Go
Great.
crazy.
You want to show women's volleyball? Great.
WNBA is big, yeah.
I'm just trying to wonder how in Kansas City, Missouri, on a Sunday at noon, what are you showing? What are you supposed to be watching? There's a group of people in there that's watching women's basketball?
Now, I do think there's an element of last week, you probably didn't know this, the Chiefs and the Current played at the same time. If you were a diehard KC Current fan, you probably had a tough time being at a sports bar Monday night and getting your game on. So I think this bar will do a good job of alleviating that problem. But if the Current aren't playing on Sunday at 7:25 this upcoming week, what are you showing at 7:25 on Sunday night? Like that?
That's what I'm saying.
Feels like you're turning away business.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like a really noble idea to prioritize women's sports. And again, I'm for it. You want to show a WNBA game on? Great. WNBA finals going on, little college softball World Series. That all sound like really good ideas. I don't know how you were opening up a sports bar and your plans not to show the NFL. That doesn't make sense to me.
Or even college sports. Like we this town is very college. Like 11 a.m. on Saturday, you're not going to show Missouri Bama. That feels like you're turning a customer base away.
Sounds to me like we're watching Nebraska Penn State volleyball is what it sounds like to me. Sounds like that's what the plan is. A little brunch and mimosas. You know what? One thing I bet they got this. I bet the brunch specials are crazy. I'm telling you, I know they got an awesome brunch. If there's one thing I know that this place has, it's an amazing brunch. A great little champagne bar. Food's probably great. You watching this? Come on, Rob. This is not a. Come to me. I would have helped you out here. This is not a good idea. This is not a winning idea. It's already hard enough to run a restaurant. This makes it even harder.
I think it's really close to a good idea. Like, it's on the fringe of a really good idea. If you are a sports bar that caters primarily to women and you're a women-owned and women-run, I'm all for it. I just think you can't be, hey, we're playing replays of old games over live games. And you know what? May they open and they say, okay, we kind of have to adjust, and they become a regular sports bar that prioritizes women's sports. And if there's a day where KU basketball is playing at the same time as Caitlin Clark's on the TVs. I get that, but I don't think you can just not have men's sports on. I think that's a bad theory.
I think someone is just missing the purpose of the topic. Someone says, CDOT, how is this different from other sports bar? They're just going to show women's sports instead of men's sports. It's not that complex, but the men's sports are the more popular ones. There's 30 million people that watch Chiefs and Eagles. I feel like those are the games that you should show.
And it's not like women's sports. It's not like if I went to Johnny's or Tanner's or whatever, it's not like they don't show women's sports at those places. Like, if I go on Saturday to watch college football and I go out and I ask them to put the current game on, they will put the current game on. It's not like other sports bars in town are going to say, no, yuck, women's sports is the worst. No, they will have that on and they'll have men's sports on, which is what you should be doing if you're the Dub. And if you want to be the bar that has the majority of your TVs on Caitlin Clark and then a couple on men's basketball, I'm even cool with that. But it can't be, hey, the NFL is on, no women's sport is on, so we're playing replays and doing trivia. That seems like a losing mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one thing to tell you, I bet that Golden Girls trivia night is going to go crazy. It's going to be a great time. More and more that I'm thinking about it, it's going to be fun for all the non-sports reasons. It really does sound like a fun place other than when there's football on. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the top stories in Kansas City. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got the problem in Grandview. That's a two-car crash. 49 northbound just past 140th in the right lane. Also a stall down in that area. 435 eastbound just before 49 470, the exit there on the right. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Graham.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot means that you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores either the first or the last touchdown in the game, then you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to take a shot at the jackpot. Remember my promo code KFNZ for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost hosting on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
For over 30 years, we've been crafting more than jewelry. We've been crafting love stories. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, where our jewelry tells a story, your story. Unlike big-name designers mass-producing so-called exclusive designs by the thousands in overseas factories, we create one-of-a-kind masterpieces by hand right here in our shop. Our custom designs are just that, custom. Designed and crafted with you, for you, and only you. Every custom ring, pendant, or bracelet from House of Diamonds is as unique as the person wearing it. And also, unlike those big-name designers, we'll never use lab diamonds to pad our profits. I've watched prices of lab diamonds drop 90% in the last 2 years, but I'm pretty sure those big designers are still charging the same or more for that big name and designer box. Real stories deserve real diamonds, and one-of-a-kind love deserves one-of-a-kind designer jewelry. Come to House of Diamonds for over 30 years on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
What's up, KC? It's Hollywood Brown. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danny, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We got a little bit of injury news earlier today in that everybody on the team practiced except one person. The person that did not practice was Xavier Worthy. He's got a shoulder thing. He's got an ankle thing. He's dealing with a couple of injuries. I suspect that he is going to play. He popped up on the injury report, I believe, on Friday or Saturday of last week. That obviously didn't affect his availability because he played in that game, actually played very well on Monday Night Football as well. He has popped up on the injury report today. Rob, this kind of feels like a rest day to me. Like this is kind of the plan on how they're handling Xavier Worthy. He practiced on Wednesday, didn't practice today. It just kind of sounds like they're trying to take it easy with Xavier Worthy. I don't want to overreact to this, but you know my point when it comes to Worthy. He's just a smaller guy. So I just think this is something that you're just going to have to normally track. I mean, he weighed 165 at the combine. They say he added a little bit of weight. Let's say he's 170, 175 now. He's still a smaller player in a game in which people are flying around and colliding to each other. I think it's a little bit unrealistic to think that you're not going to have any injury concerns with that players, but there's certainly examples. Devontae Smith's a smaller guy. Tyler Lockett is a smaller guy. Like, we can find examples. We also can find examples on the other end. It just kind of feels like that's something that we're going to have to monitor as the season progresses. We already know about the shoulder injury from the Chargers game, but it sounds like another injury has popped up.
I again, don't want to sound like an alarmist. I don't think Andy Reid does rest days. Like, the fact that he popped up out of nowhere, I mean, maybe I'm forgetting someone in the Andy Reid era in Kansas City, but I don't remember Andy Reid being like, hey, because we think you have a chance of being injured more often, we're going to, give you a break in the middle of the week just to kind of take a day off. That's not historically how Andy has done it. Andy's old school. Andy's, all about how things get done. So I don't think he's going to miss the game on Sunday. I don't want to sound like an alarmist, but I don't think this is just some pre-scheduled, hey, that he kind of has some bumps and bruises, so they gave him a day off type of energy. That's not how Andy Reid gets down with practice, or at least not with practice reps with his time as the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would guess that he practices tomorrow. Now, I guess we have to wait to see what happens tomorrow, and that might be the case.
If he's limited, though, I think that's a note, too. Like, if he's limited tomorrow, that's their final practice of the week. That does change things a little bit.
Yeah, especially when you were a full participant in practice on Wednesday to then go from a DMP on Thursday to then a limited participant. I mean, possibly something has changed. So let's just see. Again, I'm not here to fearmonger when it comes to Xavier Worthy. He was on the injury list last week. He ended up playing. I just think this is something that you're just going to have to monitor as the season progresses when it comes to this. You know what? I give the Lions a lot of credit for this. We can get to the hits here coming up momentarily. I give the Lions a lot of credit for this. I talk about it. There are two major jumps that you got to take as an organization, like two major jumps that you got to take. The Lions have taken one of those jumps. The Lions were a really bad team for basically our entire lives. If we think of the last 30 years, there are very few American sports franchises that have been as bad for as long as the Lions have. They are a bad franchise. And the Lions, in about 3 years, hired the right coach and turned things around. And now look, the Lions are one of the marquee teams in the league and legitimately have a chance to win the Super Bowl. They should be a blueprint. They should be a model. I don't care if you're a college team, an NFL team, you should look at the Lions. All you got to do is get the coach right and the quarterback right. Now, that's a really, really difficult thing to do, but if you get it right, you can turn things around real quick. Now, the Lions have gotten a lot of other things right. I mean, they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the 5 best running backs in the National Football League. When a lot of people thought that they could go this direction, they ended up getting Penei Sewell. They got one of the better offensive linemen in the National Football League. They hit on Aiden Hutchinson. So they've got a lot of draft picks that ended up hitting and ended up working. And in a college sense, they recruited well. They drafted well. And now look at them. They're one of the more talented, if not the most talented roster in the National Football League. What I really appreciate about the Lions is they have established a clear and defined culture. I believe that teams take on the personality of their leaders. I don't think the Chiefs panic because Andy never comes off as someone that panics. It's kind of hard to see Andy frantic. At least he doesn't show it very publicly. He seems normally very stoic, very calm in the face of adversity. If you would define the Chiefs over the last 5-7 years or so, they're very calm in adversity. We have seen the Chiefs be down in some pretty peculiar spots and always seem to figure it out and climb themselves out of it. That's kind of how Pat handles things. That's how Andy handles things. That's how the team really handles things. The Lions are fighters. The Lions are very aggressive. The Lions are kind of like that school that doesn't have a history and track record of winning, that understands that in order to win at that university, you got to do things a little bit differently than everybody else. You got to be the hyper aggressive, we're not taking any mess from anybody kind of team. And that's the brand that the Lions have built up over the last 3 years or so. We have gone from seeing the Lions being the laughingstock. The Lions played a season in which they lost every single game. The Lions were so bad that, in my opinion, the greatest running back of all time said, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. I'd rather not play than play for you guys. And then a decade later, the exact same thing happened again with one of the most talented wide receivers that we have ever seen. Like, this has been a theme with the Detroit Lions. They have been a laughingstock. And over a very short period of time, they have become one of the examples and model franchises that you want to be. No, they have not been Kansas City. They have not been Philadelphia. They haven't won a championship. But you want to talk about being a really good, really consistent team? They've basically been the NFC version of the Baltimore Ravens over the last 3 years. Very good franchise, always in the mix, well-respected, tough, one of those kind of teams. And that's the team that's coming into Arrowhead on Sunday for Sunday Night Football.
It is weird to think, and Josh Briscoe mentioned this earlier, and it's not some profound, earth-shattering take, but the Lions me and you grew up with, they were drafting in the top 5. They went 0-16. Remember, we all got our jokes off at Matt Millen because he took, 3 receivers in a row? Charles Rogers, Calvin Johnson, Roy Williams. Like, one of those was a big hit, but the other 2 were big misses. Like, they were a laughingstock organization. It was just the fact that one year Jim Caldwell had them at 9-7 was like, oh, wow, great job by Jim Caldwell. He made them respectable. Good for him. The fact that that team hired Dan Campbell, who in his opening press conference about non-kneecaps, and they have become one of the prohibitive favorites in the NFC in just 3, 4, 5 years' time is really, really impressive. I think your Ravens analogy is perfect. I think they're kind of the modern-day blue-collar Steelers. Hey, their offense is more explosive, more dynamic, but you know what they want to do more than anything? They want to beat you up. They want to physically impose themselves on you for 60 minutes. They want to dominate both line of scrimmages. They want you to walk away and be like, man, we were in a slugfest, and they relish those moments. And credit to Dan Campbell, credit to that GM, Brad Holmes, credit to everyone in Detroit because they went from auto dub to suddenly a team where we're thinking they might represent the NFC in the Super Bowl one day. They were already 1 game away. Maybe if they didn't have 500 injuries last year, they would have done it last season. They are the favorite right now, or one of the favorites in the NFC to do it again. Like, credit to everyone in Detroit because they took a laughingstock and turned them into a Super Bowl title type of team. They just haven't got over the hump yet.
I think where you have to give the Lions in terms of how they've drafted the most credit, you and I talked a lot about positional value over the summer. I think you and I, for the most part, are in line when it comes to positional value. I value running back a little bit differently than you, but most of the other positions on the field, I would say that you and I are in lockstep on what the most important ones are. Other than quarterback, which they traded for their quarterback. I mean, they had a quarterback that they drafted. They then used him to trade for another quarterback that has obviously worked out for them. Every other important position on the field, they drafted and got it right. They drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown. They hit on Amon-Ra St. Brown. They drafted Jamison Williams. They hit. They drafted Penei Sewell. They hit. They drafted Aiden Hutchinson. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, when you sit and look at their star players and how they built up a roster that is one of the more talented in the league, it was through drafts. Now, they had an advantage. They were bad for so long that they, for the most part, picked near the top. But Cleveland has also picked near the top for most of our lives. They ain't never had this collection of talent and gotten it right this often. Aside from basically those 2 years with the Cincinnati Bengals, they have been bad for most of our lives. They've never hit to this degree. So some of it is just you were able to stockpile talent and stockpile draft picks over a 5-6 year period. No question. That helped the Lions get to where they are. But just because you have the 3rd overall pick doesn't mean you connect on the number 1 overall pick or number 3 overall pick. And that is what the Lions have done. So I give the Lions a lot of credit for what they've done. And I also give them a lot of credit for the hiring of Dan Campbell. I don't think he was on a lot of people's radar. He was the New Orleans Saints tight end coach. He wasn't a hot shot offensive coordinator, a hot shot defensive coordinator. Those coaches, for the most part, probably weren't taking the Lions job. You were never going to get the Ben Johnson, the flashy new offensive coordinator that everybody is after. You had to do it a little bit differently. And you hired the New Orleans Saints tight end coach. And look, he is now one of the more beloved coaches in the National Football League. I don't know if there is a thing in the current NFL more popular and more well-liked than Dan Campbell. Like, people that don't like Patrick Mahomes for whatever reason. You feel like the referees give him the benefit of the doubt. He's on all these State Farm commercials. Like, people that just don't like Patrick Mahomes. And that's kind of the thing of being the face of the league. Travis Kelce, I would say the exact same thing. there are a small group of people that have 100% approval rating. Andy Reid is one of those individuals. You don't hear many people with bad things to say about Andy Reid. I would say that Dan Campbell, obviously he doesn't have the measure of success that we are talking about when it comes to Andy Reid, but I've never heard a bad Dan Campbell story. People just seem to like him. He's just one of those guys that has a great personality that people follow and that people like. That is the head coach of the Detroit Lions. Rob, you know what? Why don't we talk a little bit about Bill Belichick in the hits? Hit the button.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu.
You know what? I'm going to actually make you hit number 1 here. I don't know if you saw this or not, but there is another Game of Thrones spinoff that is coming. This is called
Seven Kingdoms,
A
baby.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I know that you are a big Game of Thrones. You're also a House of the Dragon individual.
I'm cooling on House of the Dragon.
Well, I mean, season 2 wasn't very good. It's going to take us 5 years to get the next one. So I don't know if anybody can be a huge House of the Dragon fan. What is your favorite television spinoff? I mean, you know what my favorite television spinoff is. We don't have to get too deep into it. I actually don't know yours. What is your favorite television spinoff?
Television spinoff. So it started with. That's a great question. You know, I don't know. I guess
Is yours like mine, Law & Order SVU?
I guess that's probably the answer. I was never a huge Law and Order fan.
Oh, well, that's not your answer then.
I mean, I don't dislike Law and Order. I don't dislike
You're a
SVU. I don't really know I have a favorite spin-off. I guess, does the Marvel TV shows all spin off the movies count? Because that's a thing.
Better Call Saul would count.
That's the answer.
A spinoff.
That's the answer then. Better Call Saul.
I'm sure there's other
examples. Better Call
examples.
Saul's might be better than Breaking Bad. So Better Call Saul is the answer.
You guys really think that? I've heard a lot of people say that. There's no chance you think that Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. There's no chance.
It's really close. It's eerily close. Have you seen Better Call Saul? Go watch Better Call Saul.
No, because I watched the show because of the 2 main characters. And now that the 2 main characters aren't on there, I'm less interested in the story.
First off,
I wasn't watching the show for their lawyer. I was watching the show for the drug dealers. That's who I was watching it for.
The show is much more than just the 2 main characters. Like, Gus was
That's why I liked it, though. I liked their interactions with all the other characters. I mean, the lawyer was cool. He wasn't cool enough for me to watch a whole show based on him.
You should watch the whole show, because it is good enough to watch a whole show based off him. You get Gus back in it. You get Mike back in it. It's all the stuff you want.
Is Walter White and Jesse in it?
No, because
I'm not
Breaking
interested
Bad.
then. I'm not interested. The text line is saying Frasier is their favorite spinoff. Frasier, which is a spinoff of Cheers.
I mean, Cheers was out in the 80s. Like, that's...
I'm telling you what the text line. You're yelling at me. I'm telling you what the text line said. There's this Frasier. A couple people said A Different World, which is a spinoff of The Cosby Show. There's no chance you've ever seen A Different World before. None.
Who got spun off?
You lived in a different world. That's 2 Americas.
Who got spun off?
It was The Cosby Show.
No, like what character got spun off to go start? Was it
their daughter went to college and she goes to Hillman College, and that's the concept of A Different World.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm here to help you, man. Sometimes I'm here to be the bridge to the other America. You know, I'm here to be your bridge to a different world. That's why I'm here. Let's play these clips for you guys very quickly. For those of you in the 5 o'clock hour that may have missed these. Chris Jones met with the media earlier today. We'll get back to the Bill Belichick thing, I promise. I know I teased and then I forgot. I got distracted by another question, so I apologize. I want to play this for you, though, before we do all of that. Chris Jones was meeting with the media earlier today, and he explained his decision to delete social media.
I actually, 2 days before the game, I posted a Drake quote. I see you in a summary of 2026, and I deleted my social media before the game. I never run from constructive criticism. I've never been that guy. Always addressed it head on. Actually, it's a lot you can take from criticism. It's like fuel. It's like gas for me personally. So, for me to delete my social media, no, I didn't delete my social media because of a play that I thought he was down. Or was down and then run to. I deleted my social media days before. It just, Yeah, I guess people wanted to address me head on social media, and they seen my social media wasn't active, so they figured that I deleted it for that, but it was deleted couple days before, you know. And I don't mind constructive criticism, you know. I don't mind it. You know, it's actually fuel for me. So for me to delete that, I've never been a guy. I've been in this league 10 years, never been a guy to run from it.
That was Chris Jones explaining what happened with his Twitter account. I don't really care what happened with Chris Jones' Twitter account. I really don't. I don't care. I don't think that athletes should even be on social media. I don't really think that it's positive for them in really any way. I understand being on there if you got brand deals. Like if you're Patrick Mahomes, I don't think that you can delete Twitter. I think you are too influential, too powerful, and a way for you to promote and sell things is on your social media. So you have to have one for Adidas and Oakley and Essentia and all of the other things that you have. Like, I'm guessing the amount of people that have access to Patrick Mahomes' Twitter account will make you, I think it's 15, 20 people have access to his Twitter account. I don't think he spends a lot of time on there reading it. I don't think he's going through his mentions. I don't think that you should be going through your mentions if you're Patrick Mahomes, because I'm guessing it is an absolute cesspool on Twitter. So I don't care. I really don't care. The only thing I do care about when it comes to Chris Jones is they need you on Sunday. I do not think the Chiefs can win this game without Chris Jones. And I'm not talking about like him being injured and being out. I mean mentally, physically, emotionally, I don't think they can win this game. I think the Lions are too talented offensively and can do too many things to where you need all your bullets in the gun to beat this team. I think you can argue that the Lions are the best team in the National Football League. I think they are the most complete offense in the National Football League. I think they have one of the 8 best quarterbacks in the league. I think they have one of the 3 best rushing attacks in the league. They got a great wide receiver combination. They got a very talented tight end. You are going to have to get pressure on the other team's quarterback. You do not do that without Chris Jones. You do not do that without maximum effort. You do not do that without him being a disruptor and a playmaker in the game. So I don't care about Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, whatever kids are using these days. I don't care about none of that. But they need you coming up on Sunday against the Detroit Lions. Ultimately, that is all that matters. He was asked what he is seeing with the Detroit offensive line. Here's what he said.
Group works really, really well together. I think they have one of the better right tackles in the game. Jared Goff has a lot of playmakers around him, running backs. Amar St. Brown. And, excuse me for getting this name wrong. They got a lot of talent on that offensive side of the ball, and their running backs, some of the top tier running backs in the league, and they have one of the fastest receiver core in the league. So it's going to be a challenge for us, especially to get after their quarterback to affect them, to put us in a position to win this game.
So you guys are probably listening to 2 completely different things. I mean, I know the Lions got a really good offensive line. I know they do. You miss the fact that Chris Jones doesn't know how to pronounce Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that goes with my theory that I was telling you guys about yesterday. Everybody has a name that they can't pronounce. We know what Gronk's name is.
But Baker Mayfield also did it without his #1 wide receiver, Mike Evans. And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, going for over 100 yards. Emeka Egbuka. I'm getting confused.
There you
going
go.
lights
You
out
wouldn't get
once
confused,
again.
Gronk. You don't know how to pronounce the man's name, and that's okay. Everybody has a name that they can't pronounce. I don't know the quarterback's name on UCLA. I have no clue. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I know who he is. And if you say it correctly, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's how you say it. But if I tried to say it to you, I can't do it. Nico Emiliava, is how you I don't know how to pronounce the man's name. I'm not even going to try. We now know that Chris Jones has the name, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amar St. Brown. And, excuse me for getting this name wrong.
So, yeah. Everybody has that name. Text line 913-586-7965. What's your name? What's the name that you can't say? There's a word you can't say. There's a word that you can't spell. I have no clue how to spell convenience. I misspell it every single time. At this point, I don't even really try to spell convenience. I just try to get like really, really close, And then I let the little squiggly line take over, and then I let Steve Jobs fix it. I let Tim Cook fix it. They'll fix it for me. Like, I got to learn how to spell convenience? Come on, it's too much. I can't do it. Rob, what's your word that you can't spell?
Responsibility.
That's a good one.
It puts me in a blender every time.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Everybody's got that word that you just try to get real close.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just let the spell check take over the rest of the way. You don't got to, I'm not here to deal with that. Like, who am I supposed to be, Aquila and the Bee? I'm not here to, this isn't a spelling bee. That time's over in my life. I don't need to know how to spell anything correctly. That's what the computer's there for. It'll spell it correctly for me.
If I had to do it by hand, I'd be in big trouble. But my phone and my email, I'm good.
Were you writing notes to people? What's that? What's happening?
You know what? When we were a kid, you know what they said? You got to be able to spell these things, so they're not going to have a spell check built in. You know what? My life has gone on with a spell check built in forever.
They definitely told us we wouldn't always have access to a calculator.
Mm-hmm.
I always have access to a calculator. Where am I at where I need to do math and a calculator is not readily accessible? Yeah, that's the thing. They lied to us. That's what happened. They lied to us. I want to play one more thing for you guys. This was Chris Jones. Here he is talking about the last play of the game.
That's a teaching point for me, a little adversity. I can't think the play is over. You know what I mean? And it's a learning lesson. You know, thought it was over. Thought we had him down. So I kind of stopped, was about to celebrate, and then realized that he wasn't down. And, you know, a teaching lesson for me is don't stop, you know.
That's a good lesson to learn. You know what? I'm ready to just leave that alone. Rob, you can even delete the Chris Jones audio out of the system. Don't delete the Amon-Ra St. Brown part. We will keep that. We need to keep that. Let's just build up a collection of that. But all the other stuff, I am happy to delete it. We can Men in Black, flashy thing, and we never have to see it again. I'm ready to move on from it. It doesn't matter. You can't go back in time. You can't change it. And that effort that he's talking about and that chip on his shoulder and being able to take criticism, all of that sounds great. I want to see that on Sunday. They need you against the Lions. They need you to be disruptive. You're going to have to take away something that the Lions want to do. The Lions are a lot like the Eagles, but just a much better passing team. You got to deal with Saquon Barkley. You got to deal with A.J. Brown. You got to deal with Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert in the middle of the field. And it is impossible to take all of those things away. You got two running backs that can run for 100 yards. You got a wide receiver that can hit you for 100 yards. You got two running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You got a tight end that could have 75 yards. There's a lot of different things that the Lions can do to really put pressure on this defense. And if you're not getting pressure, if you're not getting in the backfield, I just don't think you have a very realistic chance of beating the Detroit Lions. So they're going to need big 9-5 to have a good game. Coming up on the other side, there's a stat I want to give you guys about Bill Belichick and how it relates to Andy Reid. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Heartland Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Sight Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start October 15th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Wreck is clear, but still very heavy down south. It was 49 southbound just past 155th. Again, clear, but I still see red in the area. Shawnee, that's a crash. 35 southbound at Shawnee Mission Parkway, right lane blocked. I'm Val with KFNZ Traffic.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I want to read to you guys some stats. Now, I think you might have known these stats, but I didn't know it was like this. And maybe that's my fault for not knowing, and I can live with that I maybe should have known. This is from Albert Breer, former friend of the show. We used to be real close with Albert Breer, and then he stopped calling. It was like James Palmer. He morphed into Albert Breer in our life. We moved on from you, Albert. So this is what he tweeted out. I've long felt that Bill Belichick was the greatest coach of all time. But now, Andy Reid without Patrick Mahomes, 184, 123 losses, 1 tie, 13 playoff berths, 8 division titles, 1 Super Bowl appearance, 11 playoff wins. Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. 83 wins, 101 losses, 2 playoff berths, 0 division titles. He has never made the Super Bowl without Tom Brady. This is the analogy I'll make. I think Andy Reid was Dr. Dre. And I think Patrick Mahomes was Snoop Dogg. And when they came together, they made the Chronic. You took one of the greatest producers ever, one of the greatest rappers ever, and said, go work on an album. And look at what you gave us. You gave us nothing but a G thing. You gave us timeless music. I think that's what you get when you get two elite, phenomenal people and you put them together and they work together. But I've seen Dr. Dre make hits with other people. I saw him make hits with Eminem and 50 Cent and Eazy-E and Ice Cube and all of these other people. That's kind of like Andy Reid. I've seen you do it with Mahomes and McNabb and Vic and all of these other people. Bill, I've only seen you do it with one person. I've never seen you do it with anybody else. You had a chance to show me you could do it with somebody else. You failed miserably. We give Bill a lot of credit for taking one team to the playoffs one time. And now maybe because it's Cleveland, but at that point, like, Cleveland wasn't that bad. You know, they're coming off the Marty Schottenheimer years, the fumble. I mean, Cleveland wasn't great, but I mean, they weren't the dregs of the league. We give Bill a lot of credit for being decent one time with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you flamed out in New England once Tom was gone. You flamed out. They gave you a chance. You got to pick your quarterback. You then got to draft a quarterback. You kept failing in the draft. You were one of the least talented teams in the league. It was time for you to go do something different. Now, this was your chance to kind of show us. No one is expecting North Carolina to win the ACC. Can you be a 7-5 team? Can you be what KU is this year? I don't think KU's winning the Big 12, but they're a fun, entertaining team to watch. Now, maybe your argument is, well, Lance Leipold has had some time. You were Bill Belichick. You should be able to go hit that transfer portal. You should be able to equip with this new NIL money. You should have boots to the ground. You should be going around and I'm Bill. You can get anybody you want on FaceTime. Tom Brady will come here and talk to you kids. You have all the built-in advantages in the world. You're the institution. But right now, you're looking like Les Miles. That's how it feels. You look like Charlie Weiss. That's not a good look. It makes me question a lot of things with Bill. I'm serious. It really does. It makes me question a lot of things. I also thought that Bill Belichick was the greatest coach of all time. It's gone so poorly when Tom hasn't been around. It makes me I don't know what to think. And especially when I saw things go so great with Tom, it's not like Tom left and also struggled. You guys like, oh, well, maybe you both needed each other. No, you didn't need. Tom has seemed to do nothing but flourish since he's gotten away from you. He won a championship. He won an MVP. He got a great job at Fox. I know he had a little personal stuff there for a while. I don't know anything else about Tom. We don't talk about Tom and Giselle and all that stuff anymore. He seems to mind his own business now. Every day I get on Instagram. Every day I get on Twitter. There's a news story about Bill Belichick and some nonsense. And there are usually two things normally lead to you getting fired in college or whatever you are. Two things normally lead to it. Number one is the anonymous reports. When you start getting the anonymous parent that's now talking to Yahoo about how things are going, when you start to get those stories where it's anonymous recruit's mom that calls that a toxic environment that they wouldn't send your kid there, it's usually the problem. The second one is once the local media turns on you. If you're the coach in Missouri and Gabe doesn't like you, it's a problem. That's not good. It's not good. It's not a good sign. And now that person is asking questions about what your buyout is, and now he's calling the boosters and the donors to find out how much they want to get you out of here. It's not a good sign. I used to laugh and joke about this, that Belichick looks like he was headed towards a 4-8 season and a resignation because of health reasons. I think we're talking about something serious. I think he's going to get fired at the end of the season. I think they're going to spin it like a buyout, like both sides mutually agreed. I don't think that North Carolina wants you back, not unless things turn around really, really quickly. Like, you guys start showing a little bit of life, a little bit of promise, and I also don't know if Jordan can be there anymore. I think she is at the center of a lot of these problems. And now I think that we got a little bit more information. I think we can see, I understand why an NFL team didn't want her around. Maybe you really wanted to hire Bill. Maybe you were really interested in Bill in something. Maybe you didn't want him to be your head coach, but you wanted him to be the defensive coordinator or a defensive specialist or whatever you wanted him to do. I don't think they wanted her around. During their bye week, he went on a vacation. He went to Nantucket. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's his vacation. That's what he's supposed to do. Not when you've been getting thumped around the way that you can't be taking vacations during the middle of the college football season. You better be working the portal. You better be calling recruits. You better be doing something. I just don't think Bill's committed to turning things around in North Carolina. I think he was frustrated he didn't get an NFL job. This was a quick lick. It was 3 years, $30 million. You got a low buyout, so if something fails, you can go back to the National Football League. Bill's not coaching next season. Bill's about to be back on television.
Are you sure he makes it to the end of the year? Like, I don't think that's a crazy thought to have. Like, is there a chance that it's week 7, week 8, week 9? I don't know their schedule. Maybe they're playing, I don't know, Pitt, and they lose another embarrassing game because they got embarrassed a couple of times in Bill Belichick's era, and it's just they get the money together and they say go away now because it's so bad. They do what other coaches have had happen to them already this season. Like, I don't know that North Carolina is light years better than where UCLA was at with Deshaun Foster. Like, are we sure Bill Belichick is finishing the season at North Carolina? Forget getting a year 2. Are we sure he gets 12 games in Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I think, to me, at this point, Bill either quitting or being fired in the middle of the season now becomes the worst possible thing that can happen. That's a real black mark. You couldn't finish year 1. I think even if you're North Carolina, you got to let him finish the season. Like, there's a way to play this that doesn't really embarrass Bill. You play this season out, you win 3, maybe you win 4 games. You guys release a joint statement together that you were going to pursue media opportunities, that the job was a little bit more stressful than you thought, a little bit more work intensive. At your age, you didn't have to file. Like, there's a way to bow out of this gracefully if you're Bill. That doesn't really cost North Carolina a whole lot. Sure, you tried it for a 1-year experiment. In the end, it would have cost you $11 million to find out. You're paying him $10 million this year. His buyout's $1 million. It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. But if you fire Bill Belichick in the middle of the season, not good. So yeah, Bill, you just gotta. Now, I don't know if you can't keep your head down. There is not which is crazy to think. I never thought we would say this. There is not a football coach right now in America that is more in the news as constantly as Bill Belichick. Think about that. Every day we get a new Bill Belichick story. A buyout, his girlfriend, he's on the cover of Us Weekly. Like, when did this happen? What kind of bizarre world are we living in?
He left school to go on vacation during the bye week.
He went to Nantucket.
Well, I mean, that happens in the pros. It does. Not in college.
There ain't no reason to be doing that in college. I'm sorry, you can't. I know you want to spend time with your family, and that's super important. Like, you picked a job that you can't even take a weekend with your lady. No, you better be working. You better be doing something, especially when you're getting beat like this. You're getting pummeled on a game by. Let me find out that while you got Alabama on the schedule, Eli Drinkwitz was in the Virgin Islands somewhere. Yo, what's going on here? How committed are you to trying to get to the playoff? This is a problem going on. That's not where you need to be. You need to be calling somebody. Call that kid down in Nixa that's the #1 offensive lineman, and let's figure out why he's going to Oregon and not Mizzou. That's what you should have been doing during the break, not off somewhere on the Cayman Islands. A terrible decision. Coming up on the other side, we're going to give you a Thursday night football parlay. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot means that you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores either the first or the last touchdown in the game, then you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to take a shot at the jackpot. Remember my promo code KFNZ for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost hosting on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help us your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
If you're a man waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. This is Jeff Montgomery. Do what I did. Contact Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. Go to miva-medical.com.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Well, we're in the heart of football season, and the players, they got to be on their game and at peak performance and ready to go when it matters most to try and get a win on Sunday, Saturday, whatever time of the week they play. You also have to be ready and confident where it counts. I'm talking about Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference. Day and nights just got longer and better for everyone because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. It'll have you feeling fantastic. Be ready when she is. It's not just about performance. Confident where it counts. Give her group chat something to talk about because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ. At checkout, just cover $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com and get your first month free. BlueChew.com and get your first month free. A small chew for a big difference. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Our summer sales event is here, and the deals are hotter than ever. Right now, drive home in a brand new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport starting at under $30,000. Or lease for just $399 a month with zero down. Need something bigger? Check out the spacious new Explorer, the larger Bronco where you can pop the top and doors off for those nice fall days, or the always tough F-150 STX Crew Cab 4-wheel drive. Just zero down and $499 a month. Lease payments are plus tax, title, and license. And folks, if you haven't checked out the versatile Ford Maverick, you're missing out. At Victory Ford, we have them in stock starting under $30,000. That's unbelievable value, a pickup that even fits right in your garage. Kansas City, if you haven't been behind the wheel of a new Ford lately, now's the time. The build quality is second to none, and we've got the selection ready for you today. So don't wait. Visit us at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than our last.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
So working the crash down south, you've got 435 eastbound past Knoll, the right lane is blocked, and a crash westbound 435 just past State Line Road, the right lane is blocked there. I'm Val with KFNZ Traffic.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
They got a Thursday night football game coming up. Now, I'm probably going to watch a little baseball today. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but just getting myself all worked up for an NFC East matchup that's probably going to be 21-6 and watch 7 tush pushes. Just, doesn't seem like maybe the greatest way to spend your night when you could be watching Phillies and Dodgers. We also got Cubs and Brewers tonight. We also got a little bit of college football. Did you guys know that yesterday started 29 consecutive days that there will be a football game on the TV? So ask yourself, is Eagles and Giants the best football game that you could be watching today? But you know what? That's not going to stop me from our Thursday night 2-leg parlay, which is now brought to you by our friends at Circa Sports. Sports betting the way that it should be is coming soon to Missouri with Circa Sports. Rob, are you excited for sports gambling coming to Missouri?
Yes, because then I can go to a game in Missouri and not have to get my bets in before I leave the state of Kansas. You know what I'm excited for? Going down to Sprint Center watching KU Mizzou or the Big 12 tournament and not having to stop at state line to get my bets in. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, well, the tickets go on sale here coming up very soon for
I'm a season ticket holder. I already got mine are pocketed.
Oh. You couldn't look out for your boy? You couldn't get a 4-pack?
Do you want to sit on the KU side?
Good point. I don't want to sit over there.
That's where my tickets are going to be. They're going to be, when they divide that arena in half, I'm on the blue side.
I'm going to be over there. Very annoying. I'm going to be very annoying. Let me see Anthony Richardson. Let me see him locking up this number 1 overall pick you're telling me about. That's what I want to see. Anthony Robertson, actually, my apologies. Let me see him locking him up. Because that's what's about to happen. Who's guarding Mark Mitchell this year? You guys still don't got anybody to guard Mark Mitchell? He's still going to hit you for 25?
Melvin Council probably going to guard Mark Mitchell.
Okay, all right. Well, they're getting cooked. I'm here telling you that
That's
right
probably
now.
my guess.
Okay. You guys got somebody to guard Trent Pierce this year?
I don't know who that is.
A good 6'11" wing?
Oh, yeah, they got Flory.
Okay, all right.
He's a millionaire. Go get him.
Good point. Good point.
Go get him.
All right, for our 2-leg parlay, I am going to take Cam Scattaboo. I'm going to take his over on receptions in today's game. I think the Giants are increasing his workload. I think they're going to throw it to him out of the backfield a couple of times. Give me the over on Cam Scattaboo receptions for tonight.
I am taking the under of 40.5 points.
Oh, goodness.
I am not a believer in this Eagles offense. Are you a believer in this Eagles offense?
No.
They've been stuck in the
How can you
mud
be?
all season. It's been rough. Like, they have a lot of explosive weapons and an O-line that's kind of beat up and a quarterback people thought was top 5, and it is a slog for them to score. So, and the Giants they're the Giants. I mean, come on now. So,
they're the Giants, no.
So I got the under of 40.5. You got Scattaboo over 2.5 receptions. Parlay that together with our friends over at FanDuel, and it's plus 244. So if you are going to watch that nightmare tonight, at least bet this.
Yeah, that's about. I thought it was at like 256. I thought it was somewhere in that range. So yeah, that actually lines up. Before we get out of here, I have to give you guys our final New Orleans prison update. So if you guys remember back in May, there was a prison escape in New Orleans. There was a prison escape. 10 prisoners out of here, gone, fled. Now, they caught some of them pretty quickly, but there was one that evaded police for quite some time. This gentleman's name was Derrick Groves. Now, I don't want to make light of the situation. Derrick Groves was convicted of some very, very serious things. So it was very imperative to get that man off the street. Well, he evaded police all of June, July, August. I mean, the whole summer. He even got to watch the opening games in the National Football League as a free man. I put free in quotations. Well, he is now back in custody. You might be asking yourself, well, what happened? We were speculating yesterday when we talked about this story. Did he have a dispute with somebody? Was he maybe out and somebody recognized him? Was this a family member that ended up calling the police and ended up taking the reward money? How did he get back into custody? Well, we have the answer. The news station down there, WSB, that's their CBS affiliate, they are reporting that he got into an argument with his girlfriend. His girlfriend, in frustration, then called the police, turned him in. Now, I want to at least start with she did the right thing. This man he's a convicted murderer, killed 2 people. So good. Get this man off the street. He shouldn't be walking around. Second, Derek, if there is one person right now who should be on their best behavior with their old lady, it's you. It's you. Like, bruh, you've been staying there. You don't got a job. So you can't contribute financially. When she goes off to work, you need to be inside watching TV, playing a video game, and making sure that house is spotless and figuring out your next move. You can't stay in Atlanta forever. How am I getting to Cuba? How am I getting to a place with no extradition? But no, you in there arguing with your old lady? That had to have been building up over time. It wasn't just like one argument, wait, I'm sending you back to jail. It should have been, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, I'm going to have the chicken out when you get done. You should have learned how to be a master chef. I'm telling you, I want you to come home and never have to worry about anything. I turned into Emerald Lagasse while I'm out here. I turned into Wolfgang Puck. I'm out here making legendary meals when you get off work. But nah, you in here arguing with her, and now look at you, bro. She turned you in. What did Chris Brown say? These young ladies are not loyal. Well, guess we saw what happened. We got a very busy show planned tomorrow to get you ready for Sunday Night Football. Keep it right here on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking. With an MBA from University of